could have been next to you, and my motions are perpetual. The 38 special, I turn your brains into vegetable. Headshots, only death for you. Sheesh, sheesh. Weight pusher, hump points, great hookers, hard puncher, hot bars, great hookers. I tuck on the beat, great looker, straight cooker. Where you from? Brownsville, New York, nigga. My older bitch look like she young, thick something. While I smoke a spliff, she sips something. No kids or nothing, she's funny and dick loving. Her name meant something, used to sell brick to her husband, but fuck it. Walked by the police, had to tug it, young and bucking. Time to get out, the bell wouldn't buzz in. 22 little rusted, but still be busting, screaming and cussing. All you see was niggas leaning and ducking.
Yo. Y'all still tuned in there? Yes, sir. This is your boy Harvey Smiley, man. That dumb shit I be talking about, man. Anyway,
My young boy,
I ain't even get into it.
What's crack?
But shit, I'm back, niggas. We back, niggas. We gonna talk about some shit. We just get this shit set up and all that, man.
Listen,
Yeah, we got a good one today, man. This has been a discussion in a lot of places, man. So with that being said, we gonna get into it, man. We gonna get into it, man.
Eclipse your boy, Loki, focus on the next flip. And niggas wonder how I get bread. Take your pick, whether it's fucking with the bricks, so I'm switching up shifts.
You are now tuned into Bossman Tuck Beats.
I could have been next to you, and my motions are perpetual. The 38 special, I turn your brains into vegetable. Headshots, only death for you. Sheesh, sheesh. Weight pusher, hump points, great hookers, hard puncher, hot bars, great hookers. I tuck on the beat, great looker, straight cooker. Where you from? Brownsville, New York, nigga. My older bitch look like she young, thick something. While I smoke a spliff, she sips something. No kids or nothing, she's funny and dick loving. Her name meant something, used to sell brick to her husband, but fuck it. Walked by the police, had to tug it, young and bucking. Time to get out, the bell wouldn't buzz in. 22 little rusted, but still be busting, screaming and cussing. All you see was niggas leaning and ducking. What the fuck do we have here? Yikes. It's Curry Low, and we back, nigga. My young boy, 30's boy, and we strapped, nigga. What's crack? Let's go. Yeah, I ain't ready for this one. Hey, yo, Tuck. Fuck K.O. Tashi. Yo, man, work time. Lost the nation. Listen, it's the C to the R-I, leave a nigga R-I. P, so I'm a G, so when I creep, nigga on I. The hottest shit that y'all niggas seen since the sonar. A once in every 10-year average, just like the solar. Eclipse your boy, Loki, focus on the next flip. And niggas wonder how I get bread. Take your pick, whether it's fucking with the bricks, so I'm switching up shifts. The way I switch up my bitch, that's how I switch up my kicks. But you can catch me in the Ville, nigga, putting in work, dipping from the D's. Niggas on my back like a shirt. A hot boy in the shit, but my name ain't Twerk. But you can catch me in New Jersey Dubs, selling that twerk for sure. It's a no swag rap era. We should take it back. No snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back. No snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo, hey yo, in the booth, right to the pin break. Squeeze the 40, Shoot to the pin break, lyrical exercise. Rappers better get in shape. Schooling you rappers for what my pen state. Never been to war, you wasn't Call of Duty. Only time you play with guns is playing Call of Duty. I'm the shit, you shit, they used to call you duty. You remind me of a Kim K pick, you all booty. Roll a doobie, smoke so much weed, man. The weed man, call me the weed man. Dispensaries for my weed plant. My independent ladies say they don't need a man. Just a real nigga with a good sex game. Long dick style, run down on you niggas like Tyrone. Long clip style, pal. They done started with the wrong nigga now. Choir singing when the casket lowered down.
This a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do-rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do-rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo,
That's your shit, Lil. It's my fault.
Yeah. Double screen things. Nah. Yes, sir. Y'all still tuned in there? This is your boy Harlem Smiley, man. You are tuned into the one and only Dirt Gang TV. I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from a Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz, put it in check. I'm up next, man. Yeah. Beast 13, you want to send me anything? Oh, yeah. Send it over. I'm going to put that email up for you right now, man. Y'all can send shit over. Y'all need some shit to send me because I know I ain't been on here for a couple of days. I got the family in town, and y'all know how we celebrate, man. Y'all know how we celebrate. So y'all know when I ain't out here, y'all know, you know, with the family, we chilling, man. Travel blog coming to y'all soon. But it don't matter what y'all smoking on, man. Whether it's an indica, a sativa, a hybrid, that Reggie Miller, the Reginald Jennings, the Reggie Bush. Go run that shit back to the fucking weed man and tell him they gave you more sticks and seeds than they gave you weed. Helping divisions. He smoke a lot of regular. No matter whether you rolling a Dutch, a backwood, a Swisher Sweet, a Fonto, with the raw paper, of course, or the Bob Marley paper. But if you had the grapper, keep that shit to yourself, man. It's time for y'all to sync up. Light us up. I synced up already, man. This was a very good conversation niggas had. I'm going to be honest. We had people from the San Diego sector, the 30s. We had people from 6-0s out here inside of LA. We had a couple of the G-Stones from New York. And of course, myself had this discussion amongst each other. Where is it harder to bang at? On the Crip side, on the Blood side? We got to separate the two because it's a difference. Where is it harder to bang at? In LA or in New York? That was a very big discussion. So throughout this course of the time, we're going to definitely drop that link and let different people come up here and give their perspective on it because me, I always play the innocent bystander in this too. Me being one of the rarities because a lot of people from California don't get to New York to see the banging out there. Some people do. A lot of people from New York don't get to LA to even witness how it goes down in the motherland. So at the end of the day, the crazy part is, yeah, I've witnessed both sides of the fence. So I got my perspective on it, but at the same time, we're gonna get into it. One of the variables that came up was the size of the place. From the New York side, New York is a lot bigger in mass than LA. So a lot of people from New York side may feel like New York is harder to end. I know people be like, why is people even discussing this? People from California probably like, yeah, y'all already know this the motherland. This is the hardest place to bang. But a lot of people they don't get to New York and realize the difference. So, boom. New York as a city is, and I'm not talking about as the whole state. We're just talking about New York City. We're not going to talk about the whole California as a state. Like we're not going to talk about the whole New York as a state. We're going to talk about New York City. New York City is bigger than in mass than LA is. New York has 5 boroughs. Them 5 boroughs is kind of split up to it's a very large space. See what I'm saying? Look and see Dayro's grave. This is why the discussion came up, and this is the reason why, man. We're not talking about who's the most realist. We're not talking about the most authentic. We're talking about as far as from a banging perspective, where is it hardest to bang? So I don't want you to think this is me comparing New York to LA, like who's authentic, who not. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Let's make that very clear. This is which part growing up, you as a teenager, growing up, as a grown man, growing up, where is it harder to bang at? So this is the perspective we're going to get it. In New York, there's far, it's bigger out there. To where LA is definitely, you know, it's more widespread. From the LA perspective, we all know LA is the motherland. We all know LA is home of the drive-by shootings. We know it goes down to LA. This is the original. We already know. From the New York perspective, a lot of people think argument-wise. When you're in LA, right? When you're in the 60s, right? Just say if you're in the 60s. If you pretty much go to a supermarket inside the 60s, if you go to a gas station inside the 60s, if you go to visit somebody who lived in the 60s and you from 60s, a lot of times you're not going to have too much issues in that area unless it's somebody, the ops trying to slide on you kind of ordeal. Same thing for every other hood. It's zoned out in California. You see what I'm saying? So it's in a lot of zones. So basically, from a New York perspective, if you stay in your zone, for the most part, you don't have a lot of issues that you got to deal with unless it's people trying to, you know, ride up on your zone. In New York, you don't have zones. You don't have areas. There is nothing called, well, this is all like GKB area or G-Shine area. Oh, this is all sex, money, murder area. Oh, this is just all G-Stone area. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that out there. Even in Brownsville right now, people think they watch the internet, never been to Brownsville. They think Brownsville is just Crips running around. Nah. In Brownsville, there's GDs in Brownsville. There's Bloods in Brownsville. There's Crips in Brownsville. Brownsville, you go up the hill, Brownsville, going where you start going towards like Bed-Stuy and all that up there for the most part, it's a lot of Bloods up there. Down the hill, Brownsville too. If you cross on one side of Rockaway, it's a lot of Bloods over there on that side. You start going down there towards the plaza and all that, towards New Lots and stuff like that, it's a lot of Bloods down there on that side. So when you're in New York, you got to ride the train a lot. The train is somewhere very dangerous to where you get into it with a lot of people. And from a Blood and Crip perspective or any other gang member, you get into it with a lot of people. When you're younger and you go to school, you're riding the trains. You could be on the train with your mother, your brother, you know, with your girl, going back and forth, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island. You be everywhere with it. You can run into any gang anytime, whether it's your people's, other people's, stuff like that. School-wise, especially high school-wise, because this is where a lot of people end up like banging on each other and stuff at too. In LA, right? You got, I think when I counted, it might have been in that county, I think it was like 26 high schools or something like that. To where you may have like people from 3 or 4 different sets that'll go to that high school or whatever like that. And it'll be like a class shit like that. In New York, there's over 500 high schools to choose from. And What happens is in New York is when you go to high school, it's just different. You could be in Brooklyn and go to high school in Manhattan. You could be in the Bronx and go to school in Queens if you choose. Long as your grades was good enough when you was able to choose what high school you want to go to, it happens. So a lot of times you go to school in other boroughs you never even really like lived in before and stuff like that. Yeah, your school just may happen to be just in a predominantly area that a lot of bloods be in. But it could be like that in a lot of schools. So walking around a school is just a little bit more dangerous. You don't know who's going to be walking around the schools, and you got a lot of high schools to choose from. So from an LA perspective, right? They've been doing it for so long. They literally been doing it for so long. A lot of the younger, you get a lot of younger gangbangers out here, and you get a lot of older gangbangers out here. So a lot more has been happening as far as on the LA side. It's stuff that they went through in LA from the 70s and up until now that we haven't even experienced in New York. Like in New York, we don't do drive-by shootings. In New York, we never had parents. We don't have parents that's like me, like our age. We don't have parents that's gangbangers. We don't have grandparents that's gangbangers. Like that's stuff that you experience out here a lot. We don't have a lot of people inside of junior high school joining Bloods and Crips inside of New York. To where in California, if you turn Blood or Crip by the time high school, that's actually might be a little late. Like you get kids out there that they've been around that shit because their mother's been around it, their grandparents has been around it and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? So they've been around it since they was like younger. So with that being said, it's a lot more that they dealt with as far as like how many people, like what they got a lot more killings as far as like, you know, a lot of more people on rest in peace shirts in LA than they do in New York. They have had a lot more homies die in New York. I mean, sorry, in LA than they did in New York. So that's where the LA argument come from. Like y'all in New York can't really say it's harder to bang in New York than it is in LA because we done had so many more people die out here that y'all now just, you know, y'all may have had 2, 3, 4 homies from the set die, but ours, you got to put two zeros after that. You see what I'm saying? Like when you hear California bangers do interviews, they do interviews and they be like, yeah, rest in peace of Tiny something, and you know, baby something, and you know, y'all, they'll say like 20, 30, 40 names. But it's like you'll hear you know, New York bangers and stuff like that. Like we'll have a couple of names to throw in there and stuff like that too, who done passed away, you know, from this gang shit. But it's just a big difference as far as when you come down to deaths. So this was a very intriguing discussion that was happening too. So I felt like it was definitely right that I come and discuss it with y'all too. So now in New York, right? Well, let's do in New York on the Crip side. There's unity as far as the Crips in New York. Now, what I mean is, and even though some things have changed, oh, Chopper, no, that's crazy. And even though some things have changed as far as time and perspectives and stuff like that, for the most part, Crips in New York was always taught to rock with other Crips. The numbers was always low in the beginning. So Crips was always taught to rock with other Crips. So what happened was throughout the course of the years, you got Crips. All right, let me give y'all perspective from people who's not inside of New York. If you Crip from 8 Trade Gangster and you from New York and you see another Crip from Roller 60 or the trade or whatever like that, both of y'all flagging blue, he walk up to him, ask him, you know, what's cracking up, say, set you play, yada, yada. Niggas stay from 6-0. Normally in LA, that'd be an instant fight. In New York, they're going to do the universal handshake. It's a difference. New York Crips was always outnumbered by Bloods. At the maximum highest perspective, I would say the numbers was 10-1. For every 10 Bloods, you can find 1 Crip. From a Yeah, for every 10 Bloods, you can find one Crip. Throughout the course of, I would say from like 97 to like 2000 and maybe like 3, the numbers went to like 6 to 1. So even though Crip numbers increased, it went to 6 to 1. Right now, it's probably more closer in New York. It's probably more closer. I wouldn't even say even. I would probably say 60-40, with Blood still being the majority. You see what I'm saying? Maybe 55-45. I was go as close as that. So you as a Crip growing up in New York, you was always outnumbered. See, a lot of people don't realize, and what blew my mind, pause. I don't know if that was a pause, but we're going to get it out the way anyway, was how Crips, the way Crips is in New York is how Bloods is kind of in LA. Like in LA, Crips is the majority. The only difference is Crips is not united with one another. You see what I'm saying? So it's like their numbers don't look as strong as they actually are. To where even though you got Blood members in LA and Pyru members that don't get along with each other, they got more that actually do get along with each other. You see what I'm saying? Hence the reason how the Inglewood family came together. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff like that happened to where they strengthened their numbers out there too. But Bloods and Pyrus has always been the minority in LA for the most part. You see what I'm saying? They always been the minority inside of LA. So in Crips, that's how Crips was. So it was very intriguing too when I talked the stats. He said he was talking to another YouTube content creator, and they were saying a lot of the Crips inside of LA, you know, because they're the majority, you get like a lot of the ones that's out there too. They don't really like, their main focus is not like getting money. You got like a lot of them out there, they be focused a lot on just like banging in LA. To where when you go in New York, Crips is taught the opposite out there. Like Crips is literally taught to make moves, stay low, get your money kind of deal, money first. That's a lot of what you see the Bloods do in LA too. They're not out there just, well, and there is some, but a lot of them not out there just literally, they're not the majority. So they're not riding around just, you know, trying to just run down on people all day. And, you know, we're going to stand on the corner all day. I'm going to be honest too. And this is where a lot of people rock with me because I'm very non-biased in it. When it comes down to California, you'll see a lot more Blood dudes in LA to where they're more like, got a job, got a car, more situated, don't go to the set as much. Like even in San Diego, it's a whole set of Pyrus out here the way they focus on pimping. They're not out there running down, and they Pyrus, but they're not just running down out there just banging on Crips and stuff like that. Like they pimping. Like they literally pimping. Like you see them out there, they got the red Stacey Adams on and, you know, red suit, and they on, they, you know what I'm saying? Like they pimping. That's what they do. What's the sense of banging for, young Blood? You can't get no money like that. That's how them niggas be talking. They don't give a fuck if you Crip. I'm a pimp. I'm Pyru, but I'm a pimp. You want to get this money? Shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what is weird. It's like the Crips, you know, the Crips in New York kind of was outnumbered and kind of was weird. But anyway, shit is crazy, man. Shit, listen, before we get into the next the next chapter of this, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to drop that link in a second, man. But yeah, man.
We're recorders. I turned you niggas to mortars. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we said we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we say we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Brownsville, up the hill.
Any nigga get killed. That's why we live by the slogan. Never ran, never will. Unless we doing deals, moving pills, or we moving krills.
Yeah, man, yeah. 280. What's the good word, Cuzzo?
I came in right at the right time, 1
Yeah. You know how that go. That's why I didn't want to, Good, you good? Nah, good.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to the rules that's pimping, man. Shout out to the pimping rules. Shout out to the pimping rules.
The pimping rules, baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I didn't want to fully get into discussion too, because I want to definitely get different people aspect on this whole little ordeal and shit like that too. So I mean, let me ask you a question. Being that you're up here too, do you feel like it's harder to bang in New York, or do you feel like it's harder to actually bang it? We're talking about from like teenage years up until like, your 20s and all that, through the time that, do you feel like it's harder to bang in New York or in LA?
In my opinion, I would say, because I spent most of my years in Jersey, so we're gonna say New York, New Jersey is all the same thing. It's just a little different dynamics. But I would say it's harder to bang in New York, New Jersey, in my opinion, due to the fact that the proximity, we're so close to a lot of our opposition. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be Grape Street on this block, and 2 blocks down is your enemy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and 9 times out of 10, you're running across these people on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna see them. There's no way you ducking your tacos. You can't hide, because y'all shopping at the same places. Y'all may be eating at the same places. And one of the main things that we all gonna have in common, we probably having sex with the same women.
That's a fact, man. Listen, and that's why I try to tell people too. Do you feel like because in California it's so zoned out, as far as like 8 Trade got a zone, and the 60s got a zone, the 30s got a zone, the 40s got a zone? Do you feel like because of that perspective, to where that doesn't happen in New York and New Jersey at all? Do you feel like that's the reason why they have a little bit? Because let's be honest, I know a lot of people where they stay in their hood. Like, they don't go to other liquor stores and shit like that, and they'll be fine. So do you feel like that's the reason why it's a little bit more safer, because they have zones in New York, they don't have zones in New Jersey either?
I would definitely agree, because, and then also it depends on the individual, the person that's, gangbanger. Some individuals, they tend to stay, in they comfort zone, in their local zone. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some individuals who like to go outside of that and, make dibble and dabble. 9 times out of 10, that's with a female. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact.
I would definitely say that to an extent, it does make the LA individuals a little bit more safer, due to the fact that they have zones where they can just, they pretty much can have it. They pretty much dominate. Only way something's coming to you is like somebody sliding, but 9 times out of 10, y'all got it all already locked down.
Word up, man. Hey yo, G the Dawn, salute, man.
What's cracking, Loke? What's good, bro?
What's cracking? Ain't shit chilling, man. Yo, I can hear myself in the background. You gotta turn your background down. Or just close your YouTube stream and leave your StreamYard open. Yo, Melly Mel, man. I appreciate that $50, man. Word up, man. Salute to you. And y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Melly Mel, man. 2 L's, all caps, man. All facts. Make sure y'all go over there, subscribe to her channel. Great content over there and all that good stuff. So, yeah, G, I can still hear myself in the background. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Yeah.
Mute.
Yeah, man. Salute to Melly Mel, man. And listen, if y'all want to donate to the cause, man, the super chat button is available down there, man, for sure. Yeah,
we monetized,
yeah, that's a fact, man. We monetized over here, baby. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have all 3 of these channels. Y'all see how fast Melly Mel shit is climbing up the charts, man. So I feel like, let me give y'all my perspective, right? Me growing up in Brooklyn, going to school in Manhattan, living in Queens, still going to school in Manhattan. I had to for the most. Yeah, I still hear the echo.
Damn.
You might just got to turn your background down, G.
You probably got another tab open. Close your YouTube and only keep the StreamYard window open.
Yeah, so if you on your phone, what you do is just hit the little 3 little arrows and click over to the next screen and close the YouTube out once you get into the StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? So I had to travel a lot on them trains. And when you talking about coming from like, you know, from Brooklyn to Manhattan and going from Queens to Manhattan, you know, you do a lot of traveling on them trains. And that's where I used to get into a lot of shit at, whether it was on 42nd Street in Times Square, or whether it was at Jamaica Avenue train station, whether it was Broadway Junction in New York, whether it was shopping downtown Brooklyn, or whether it was walking down Pickens Avenue. Like there's always places to where if you could just be regularly just chilling, you see what I'm saying? And your cousin to come be like, yo, let's go over here, or let's go to the projects, some shit like that. And you being Crip, rocking all blue, got your flag out and all that shit. You will run into a whole bunch of blood niggas just standing right in the middle of the building in the projects when you walk in there. You see what I'm saying? Now, you being you can't just tuck your flag in front of them niggas and look. It's like, nah, my nigga. So that's how you end up getting into a lot of shit too. So that was a lot of reasons why I end up getting into a lot of shit, riding them buses, riding them trains when I was younger, because you're liable to run into anybody. But here's the difference though. We're going to separate the two gangs now. We're going to separate the Crips and we're going to separate the Bloods at this time for the most part. Crips in New York, right? You see another Crip, you throw it up with that Crip, long as they know what they know, and long as they shit is authentic. You see another Crip, you throw it up with that Crip. You see what I'm saying? There's universal handshakes on the Crip side in New York. In LA, that's not the perspective at all. Now, do they got certain sets that have like, you know, universal handshakes with each other? Of course they do. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, when it comes down to the when it comes down to the LA perspective, there's more sets that rock with each other rather than not rock with each other. So there's unity out there too. But when I'm saying is in New York, when you see another Crip, you just toss it up with another Crip. You see what I'm saying? So there's universal handshakes. There's no Crip on Crip beef, even though now that, you know, times is changing a little bit with the younger crowd, you might be seeing it a little bit more, but that was bound to happen everywhere. But from that perspective, in New York, that's where is a big difference at. It's not like, oh shit, well, you know, you see this Crip is from 8 Trade and we from 60s, we gotta get them. That don't happen in New York. So from that perspective, it pretty much for the most part, yo, Stats 280, man. Even though you right here, motherfucker, yo, I appreciate that donation, man. You see what I'm saying? Yo, listen, man, I always appreciate that support, man. And this is from the team. This is from the team. We don't listen. I want y'all to know, we don't never call each other and be like, yo, donate to my super chat so the shit look good. Hell no. We all just make money. So at the one time we just decided to do it, niggas just end up doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't tell these two motherfuckers to do it. I'm actually a little upset that they did it. Not upset, but you know, they know they didn't have to do that. But I do appreciate that too. So, you know, it's good to see that the super chat button is still working and all that in here, man. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. We just a team to where we all get money. So $20, $50, that's no problem to us. That's easy work. See what I'm saying? That's easy work. That's half on a bottle or something like that, man. So yeah, for that, I definitely appreciate that, y'all. So when it comes down to the Crip side, it's easier because it's Crips is united. So you don't have to worry about other Crips as far as walking around in these streets. To where if you're a Crip in LA, you don't only have to worry about Bloods, you got to worry about other Crips too. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's where the perspective plays. That's why we have to separate the two gangs. So in New York, when you were Crip running around, especially at one time when we had GDs, was the allies. The only people you had to worry about was running down on you was other Bloods, even though you was outnumbered 6-1. You see what I'm saying? Like Latin Kings and Crips, it was a very short stint of time that they had like beef with each other, but there was longer allies than there was actually, you know, to where actually enemies. So literally all you had to do was watch out for Bloods. but they were so they were so they had so many numbers and so many members that was a big enough thing by itself. That's why Crips and GDs actually aligned with each other, because we was the minorities. You see what I'm saying? But once again, if you California, right, like the Hoovers, let's talk about the Hoover Crips in California. It's super hard to be a Hoover Crip inside of LA. You got mad enemies. You got Crip enemies. You got blood enemies. You got the criminals who's Hoover that probably don't even like y'all because y'all still banging Crip and not criminal, because you know they want to be their own entity. So imagine you being a gang members, you got to watch out niggas who used to be rocking with you, Bloods and Crips. Like, that's crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like from that perspective right there, I kind of feel like it's super hard to be a Hoover. But let's be for real. If you from 60s, right? That's probably the easiest set to really be from in California, because that's the biggest set. That's the minority set. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the most probably, I would say, want to be like set out there. It's probably 60s. You see what I'm saying? So, and the 60 niggas will tell you that. They'll tell you that. I would probably say the 60s, and then like the East Coast is, you see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Those sets right there are probably, you know, you'll probably definitely get the most preyed upon sets, but it's probably easier to be from those sets than any of the sets, long as you stay in your neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? To where if you're rolling 60 in New York, you don't have that option. You may have a building you can go hang out in and be like, oh, okay, it's mad 60s that live in this building, but it's probably blood niggas live in that building too, in the projects. You probably had this block you can hang out on, but 9 times out of 10, if you go right around the corner, some shit like that, it could be mad blood niggas right there. Now let me switch it up for y'all too. When it comes down to LA, right? You, especially South Central, you make one wrong turn, you could be in the wrong neighborhood. You could be chilling in the 30s, you make one wrong neighborhood, nigga, you fuck around and be in the 20s. The wrong 20s. The wrong 20s. We're not talking about Snoop Dogg and them set. So, same thing with Watts. You from Grape Street. You fuck around and make the wrong turn, you could end up in Bounty Hunter Hood, or you could end up over there with the PJ Watts. You see what I'm saying? One wrong turn. So it's like that in California too. But what I'm saying is, if you in the Jordan Downs, you know it's all grapes in the Jordan Downs. All you think you got to worry about when you in the Jordan Downs is worry about somebody actually coming through there, spinning on you kind of ordeal and getting up out of there. But it's like, you're not going to make it out of there. So if you actually catching somebody from Grape Street, you got to catch them when they actually coming outside of the Jordan Downs. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the Nickerson Gardens. You're not just rolling through the Nickerson Gardens, or I'm about to shoot this shit up and get, hell no. That's not happening right there. You got to catch them right outside of that too. But the only problem is, ain't no buses and no shit driving into the damn Nickerson Gardens. Ain't no buses and shit driving into the Jordan Downs. So at the end of the day, when you get off them buses and shit like that, or you coming from somebody's crib or something like that, you got to still go to other zone, to other neighborhoods and shit like that. But if you somebody who actually just stay in the Jordan Downs all day, or stay in the Nickerson Gardens all day, you ain't got shit to worry about. What I'm trying to tell you is, there's no shit like that in New York at all. So you going to some girl house and she say, oh yeah, I'm from Brevoy Projects. Oh, I'm from, Coney Island, come out there. Or I'm from Bed-Stuy. Or I'm from East New York. I'm from Flatbush. I'm from Crown Heights, Brownsville. There is nowhere where you can say, oh shit, well, all right, cool. This is great neighborhood. Or this is 60s neighborhood. Or this is 30 neighborhood. What's up, Bree? Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Brianna Simone Pettyville, man. Stay in tune. They got great content over there, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to her channel for sure. Salute to the whole Pettyville. So at the end of the day, you got to really sit back and think. This is the reason why the discussion came up and the discussion lasts for so long. It's just two different entities banging the same thing, but at the same time, from a Crip perspective, you being outnumbered 6-1, having GDs as your allies, but both of y'all numbers was kind of short at the time. That's the argument on the Crip side of things. You see what I'm saying? Versus to where on the Crip side in LA, that's the majority. You as a Crip have to watch out for other Crips as well as other Bloods and Pirus, to where when you in New York, you just watching out for the red rags at one particular time if you was a Crip. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the whole argument came into play at. So me, from my perspective, I feel like riding them trains when you have no choice. It's not like you can say, oh shit, I'm going to I go to Crenshaw High. You pretty much know the neighborhoods. If you got to walk there, you know the neighborhoods you got to walk by to get over there. If you in Crenshaw High, you know, all right, well, this set might be in there, this set might be in there, this set might be in there. It might be like 4 or 5 different sets that's inside of their people, but you know those 4 or 5 different sets. When you go to school in New York, that's not the case. You can go to school in the Bronx, you can come outside and there could be 30, 40 blood dudes just standing there because your school could be right there next door to the projects. You see what I'm saying? You could be going to visit a girl that who you just met or something like that. She live in the P's or she live on this block. You Crip, that's an all blood block. You know, a lot of us men is stupid. What you gonna do? Pass up the pussy or risk your life and go try to fight these blood? I'm knowing that they may know you Crip. A lot of niggas take that risk. You see what I'm saying? So running around in New York, it's like when you in Brooklyn, a lot of times you end up staying in Brooklyn, but you may have family that live in the Bronx. You may have family members that may be blood. You ain't see these niggas since they was like 10, 11 years old. But now y'all 18, 19, 20 years old, 21. This nigga blood, you Crip. Y'all both got good statuses and shit. Shit can go either way. You might got to go see family that you got in Newark or that you got in Jersey City. You see what I'm saying? Something like that too, and realize, oh shit, I ain't see these niggas since we was little, but oh, these niggas is Bloods. You see what I'm saying? Oh, these niggas is Crips. Stuff like that be happening to where when you in California, you know that already. You already know that already.
And one thing I could definitely say, like when you know, a lot of this came into play, like a lot of this separated a lot of families. Like a lot of families. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. That's a fact, man.
Oh, my cousin turned this, and you know I'm that, and man, they you might as well say they wasn't family no more.
Word up. Your stat, your avatar fucked up. I don't know what happened. That shit clicked out or clicked back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the crazy part is, right? I feel like for you to go to a liquor store, or just go to like the fair with your kids, or go to Six Flags and some shit like that. You good. Or go to Six Flags and some shit like that. I feel like that part is way harder to do some shit like that versus anything. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, this culture definitely divided a lot of families, you know what I'm saying? And it definitely caused a lot of corruption, especially with, you know, us being men, you know what I'm saying, wanting to deal with different women. And, you know, she might have a cousin or a brother that may be the opposite of what you are. So it made it very treacherous. Where so in California, you know, a lot of them tend to deal with the women that's in their vicinity. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with the same woman. Like, yeah, I know her for whatever amount of years. We networking, we moving around. And also, Smiley, you should tell them about TAF, the project.
Yeah. Oh, yo, Big Cat, yo, Big Cat, put your camera on real quick. Let me make sure that's you. Yo, what's good, Big Cat? You got any perspective on this, man?
Hey, yo, peace, Cuzzo, peace, peace, Harlem, peace,
What's
Steph.
good?
What up? What up?
Chilling, man. Nah, my phone about to die, but I wanted to chime in right quick, right?
Mhm.
You see, I came up on the East Coast, right? I came up on the East, right? But I'm gonna choose the West Coast on this one, bro. Cause at the
Okay.
end of the day, this is how I look at it, bro. On
Mm-hmm.
on the West Coast, you might just be from a certain block, and you might not choose to bang.
Mm-hmm.
But you from this block, so you this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the homie, let's say the homie Ty Dollar Sign, he from 20s, bro, right? He ain't wanna come out banging all this stuff, but hey, you're from that street. That's what you have to go with. See, on the East Coast, we kind of had an option. We chose to go reach out when a lot of us use anger, like, hey man, I got beat up by some, I got beat up by these dudes or whatever the case may be, or these dudes rolled on me, so I'm gonna get with the opposition or whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
the way I see it, when you from, when you in LA, because I've lived in both places.
Mm-hmm.
So when you from LA, it's like, yo, you guilty by association. Like, even if you ain't even trying to bang, you got to, because that's where you from.
And
But
that's a
see
fact.
now, this is I agree. You were hitting a lot of good points. So, but at the same time, that was my situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? From both sides. Even though, but on the West Coast, I wasn't claiming or banging anything, but I was subjected to their issues. And then also, when I came back to the East Coast, I still was subjected to the issues from which my block was claiming. And me being from there, when they ask you where you from, I'm saying this, and they saying, well, we the opposite of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on, what I'm saying, the stride of that person, different circumstances, different situations.
Right.
That's a fact.
That's
No,
a
that's a
fact.
fact. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people got to realize too is the whole point of this topic, and the reason why it was so interesting too, because the people from New York, when talking to them, they have never really been to
Cali.
California to experience any kind of banging,
Pressure.
man.
Yeah.
Word up, General Wheatley.
Greetings, greetings.
What's going on, family, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain if I wanted to. How's everything with you, cousin?
Yeah, everything good, man. Everything good on this side of town. You know how that go, man. Yeah, I definitely want to get you. What's your perspective on this whole ordeal, man?
I mean, I lived in California for like 2 months, so it wasn't as bad compared to New York. Dead ass.
At
Yeah.
least you got
So,
here, though. You got here.
so New York, I jumped off the bus in the early 2000s. Being Crip was like a fucking sin. And I lived in Harlem on top of that. So we all scattered out. And a lot of the looks, you had beef with, the opposition. But the niggas wasn't cool with you. You was on your own. So it pretty much was like a dead man walking. And I went to school in Brooklyn. So for me going from Harlem to Brooklyn every day was I was a martyr pretty much. Like,
And you know what's crazy? To be a Crip in Harlem, I would probably say that was the worst borough to be a Crip at from like 95 to 2000 because it was only very small parts. Like in Brooklyn, right? You could find Crips in Canarsie, you could find Crips in Flatbush, you could find Crips in Brownsville at that time. But when you was in Harlem, it was very small amount of blocks that you can find Crips at.
it was like 4 blocks.
That's
Harlem,
it.
4 blocks.
That's it.
Yeah.
You talking about maybe like Edgecombe, 112.
Yeah, if you live on Edgecombe, you was good.
Correct. You see what I'm saying? But even like if you was like 132nd, like in that area, Lennox and Fifth,
projects.
correct. You was good, but then think about it though.
121st.
That whole project over there, what you surrounded by, 121st, same thing. You got to realize too, if you went on 125th to go shopping, that shit was correct. That shit was a death trap. You see what I'm saying? So me, I'm the opposite. I was the Brooklyn nigga that went to school in Manhattan. I went to Chelsea in Lower Manhattan. You see what I'm saying?
My mom to let me live with my cousin. Like, yo, I can't stay here. Like, I couldn't tell her why, but like, I want to leave. And I go to school in Brooklyn. I'm like, it's just more convenient. Lying. I'm just tired of fighting every day. Like,
that's a fact.
And
I lived on
a blood block. So
correct. My nigga Mark, who I used to hang out with all the time. Like, I used to go out there and shit, chill with my niggas, but my nigga who I went to school with, Mark, That nigga lived on 110th and Lenox. So when I say we right there forced the projects, nigga, that's a fact. We getting off the train. And listen, you already know. Well, a lot of people don't know. You on that train, right? And you going from 96 to 110. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of that's always.
And that shit is express.
And it's express. You see what I'm saying? So you better have some fighting skills because that was they plan and plot a lot of time. Catch you between 96th Street and 110th because there's no stops in between there. It's express gonna go right through. They gotta go over the little fucking under the damn fucking Central Park and all that shit. So that's like that shit, you be on there for a couple of minutes before anybody can come to your aid.
And the Lion Kings got off.
Hell yeah, son. I'm telling you. So it's like at the, it was a death trap to be even going out there too. So I would probably say Harlem was probably the worst place. And then Queens after that. Queens used to be for the most part majority blooded out too. It was very small amount of spots.
Jamaica Ave.
Jamaica Ave, it was over. You see what I'm saying? You had to go away to Hillside Avenue to start finding Crips, or go to Sufton and like 108 around that area and all that shit to where you start running to the 60s and all that. But other than that, like, nah, you was assed out in those two boroughs. But at least in Brooklyn, you had a couple of spots. You know what I'm saying? Staten Island, I'm gonna be honest. People ask me all the time why I don't talk about Staten Island. I really don't go to Staten Island. I wasn't like when you live, I don't know, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, you really don't go to Staten Island unless you got family out there. You got a girl live out there, but you want to ride the ferry a couple of times. But I really don't. I don't know. Staten Island's a whole time. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yep. But as far as this, I try to tell niggas too. So it's like that's the difference to where when you in California, it's a lot of people won't hear stories like that too, because unless you got one of them stories to where you had got sent to another family member house that lived in somebody else's hood and you had to go to school and stuff out there, you had to live out there, that happens to a lot of people to where they end up getting into a lot of shit. But for the most part, you good though. If you from an area and you go to school in that area, you good. That's your niggas that's in there got it on lock for the most part. You see what I'm saying? If you live in that area, you good. You go to the liquor store in that area, you go to Dutchess and Swisher Sweets from that area. You get your food from that area, like it's good. But in New York, you as a Crip, you didn't have that at all. You didn't have that at all. You didn't say this was safe zone. I can go to this movie theater and this is safe zone. I go to this mall.
Was home.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You didn't have
home.
That's a fact. Heard up. You had no safe zones, but from the blood perspective of it though, which that's gonna be the next segment we're gonna get into is from. And because I know, I gotta wait for a couple of the Bloods. I know they're gonna probably end up popping up here on the What's Name too to get their perspective on it. But we're gonna talk about the blood side of things too, because now I feel like when you think about the Bloods in New York versus the Bloods in California, it's almost like it's a flip-flop. You see what I'm saying? So let's get it. It's a flip-flop, man. So
they fighting each other more than their oppositions. Well, they are the opposition.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. But yeah, let's get into this next segment real quick.
Been recorders, I turn you niggas to mortars. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we say we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we say we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Brownsville, up the hill. Any nigga get killed. That's why we live by the slogan, never ran, never will, unless we doing deals, moving pills, or we moving krills.
Yeah, so from the blood side of things, I had to get in my bill card from the blood side of things. Nah, it's too early for that shit. Stats 280. Do you feel like the Bloods in New York had it way more easier than the Bloods in California?
In my opinion, did they have it easier?
Because now we're doing a switch with the Bloods in New York being the majority and the Bloods in LA being the minority.
Yeah. I would say Bloods in New York, did they have it easier? Yeah, they had it easier on the East. I can't really speak on the West, but in my opinion, they had it easier because, mind you, they at one point in time it was unity. You know what I'm saying? Even though they still kind of now they're like attacking each other, but they got the jails. But now I would say it's on the streets. It's a little bit of a toss up because in the jails I feel like they got more of a freedom because they glorify jail a lot.
That's
They
a
glorify
fact.
that. You know what I'm saying?
So,
So yeah.
Nah, so as a whole entity, you feel like New Yorkers got it easier than the Bloods do it in LA?
Yes, I would say that. Yeah.
And me too, I would have to agree. And the crazy part is, and the reason why I feel like it's like that is because the Bloods are at war with each other more in California than they are at war with each other in New York. But the crazy part is too, it's bad to say you're starting to see that happen in New York. Which is crazy is, and they don't even realize too, the unity is the reason why the Bloods had to end up taking over the whole jail system. And now I'm not just talking about Rikers Island. There is so many upstate facility jails. The Bloods for years and years and years had them jails on lockdown that the Latin Kings once upon a time had for many years and years and years on lockdown. So the Bloods in New York, with that UBN, the United Blood Nation, they was united. There was 5 original sets that was united. And they got their numbers up and they took shit over. They took over the whole New York City, number-wise, and then took over the whole New York City prison system, which is not like there was nobody running the shit, and then they just said, oh, shit, nobody's running it. Let's do this and take it over. Nah, it was a whole nother gang that had that shit on lockdown. So they had to overthrow that shit from that other gang to actually take it over. There is no Crip facility in New York City. When you, like in California, a lot of the Crips, well, I'm not even going to say the Crips got the shit. I would probably say more of the county jails, but the state jails, there's no really gang politics. It's more like racial politics. But in New York, you don't deal with the racial politics. You don't have white guys or like KKK members or white supremacists that run whole jail systems and them niggas got everything on lock. They may have houses or stuff like that, but as far as like whole jail systems, like nah, that you don't deal with that in New York. You deal with the gangbanging shit when you in county jail and when you in upstate facilities. So for them to do that, the numbers was crazy. They got their numbers up something fierce on the street because a lot of them end up getting out of jail. Got the numbers up crazy. So for them, that why it was a little bit more easier for them because as far as color gangs, besides the Latin Kings, that was the next ones that came up out of there and took shit over like that. But from the California perspective, Pyru's always wanted to be their own entity. They always wanted to be their own entity. Bloods was something that was formed because Crips, they felt like, it was people that felt like Crips wasn't doing what they was made and formed up to do. People really felt like Crips was supposed to take over the exact role of the Black Panthers. The Crips in the 70s and all that, they was teenagers and all that. They wasn't thinking like that. They was, shit got mixed up. They didn't go in that same role and that same perspective. So it was a lot of people who felt like, okay, well, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as protecting the community and stuff. They out here robbing shit. So we're going to start our own shit and we're going to do right by the community, which was Bloods. Bloods didn't end up doing that neither, which was all they pretty much did was end up starting to fight Crips. So it wasn't like they was just, helping out the community and stuff. All they pretty much was doing was just fighting the niggas who they formed from. You see what I'm saying? When Pyrus came along, they wanted to be their own entity. So it's like, even though you got a lot of Pyrus and Bloods, they don't look at that shit like, you know, they look at it like, oh, all right, we all red rags. But at the same time, there is a division that caused the division, and it is a lot of division between blood sets in California. But the I feel like the Inglewood family Bloods, I felt like they did a lot to where they kind of like put a lot of that on hold. And there's a lot of other sets right now that's now actually trying to like do like ceasefire kind of shit, you know, shit like that. But at the same time, them going against each other, it lowered their numbers like a motherfucker. It super lowered their numbers like a motherfucker. So at the same time, with them start battling each other, not being united in LA, it did the opposite for the Blood and Pyru numbers. It made them the minority instead of the majority. Now, when you people look at it, they be thinking like, oh shit, it's like 1 billion Crips out here, like 100,000 Bloods. Like, nah, it's a lot of Bloods and shit in California. It's just, once again, they don't rock with each other or shout each other out. They fight each other. So at the same time, you're only hearing Bloods, you know, you hearing like shit like Queen Street from Bosco, you know, you hearing shit the way, you know, Mac 10 and these niggas had the stamp on a double I shit in Jersey. And, you know, you hear about the Inglewood, you know, shit as far as with Mac 10 and all that. But that's then shit with Mozzie, the game, you know, you hear shit like that. But other than that, you're not really hearing these specific people just really, you know, go in kind of shit like that. So 280, what's your perspective on it?
My perspective is I feel like, you know, like for instance, on the West Coast, the Bloods are more somewhat productive, I guess, according to them. And on the East Coast, it's more like I think it's a level of like who pride what the most. Like on the East Coast, it seemed like the Bloods more so proud about, like, you know, taking over the jails, causing havoc, or whatever the case may be. And then on the West Coast, it seemed like they more so on some shit like, look, I'm just trying to get some money. I'm just trying to make a way. And they may beef with each other, but for the most part, I don't think that's really like a big thing with them.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why I feel like Bloods in LA, once again, is somebody you have to worry about. You have to worry about other Bloods like a motherfucker. People don't even realize sometimes in California, you may have Crips. Like, everybody think like in New York, right? Let's be honest. For a long time, it was literally Crip versus Blood. It don't matter what blood set you was from. If you was a Crip, you went against that blood set. It don't matter what Crip set you was from. If you was Blood, you went against that Crip set. In California, it's not really like that. Now, I'm not saying you have Crip sets that just be like, oh shit, we rock with these Blood niggas. But at the same time, they may not have problems with that Blood niggas because those Blood niggas got problems with their enemy, which was other Crips. So say for instance, right, let's use this as a hypothetical, right? Rolling 60s is a super big set. We already know, a lot of people already realize 60s is the biggest Crip set of Crip sets. 8 Trade don't get along with 60s. We all know that. So let's just use a set that y'all know. Let's just use a set that y'all know. Let's just say all right, what's a California set that they let's just use Inglewood family, or let's use Bosco shit, Queen Street Bloods. If Queen Street Bloods had a problem with Rolling 60s, 8 Trade ain't gonna have a problem with Queen Street because they know that they're smaller. So they'll leave the Queen Street niggas alone because they know the Queen Street niggas actually help them niggas take out some of the 60 niggas. And vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Here we go. Big Bro said negative. 60s is not the biggest. Okay, Big Bro. So what's the biggest Crip set out there? 60s is not the biggest Crip set. But anyway, I don't even get. Y'all don't realize, man. I'm not talking about even just in LA. That's could be argued. But at the same time, you got wherever there's Crips at, I guarantee you, if you find Crips in that state, I'll guarantee you're gonna find rolling 60s in that state. Guaranteed. Stats, they got rolling 60s in New Jersey.
I got them. But I ain't gonna lie though, I'm kind of a little on the fence with them being the biggest.
Who do you feel like has the most members overall? It's the East Coast, my young brother. Okay, big bro, you're talking about that could be argued. We all know the East Coast got a lot of members, but the East Coast don't have members outside of LA. That's the difference. Even in LA, you can argue who has the most members, whether it's East Coast or whether it's rolling 60s. But at the same time, rolling 60s expanded outside of LA. You don't find East Coast Crips outside of LA, so that's the difference. We talking about the whole.
But now the wild card could be this: the Hoovers.
You can't say Hoovers because in LA, the only set, it's only a couple of sets that still bang Hoover Crip. A lot of them is criminal. You can't count the criminal members. So you
want to separate now?
Yeah, you got to. And LA, a lot of them niggas don't feel like they Crips. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of them niggas don't feel like they Crips. So you talking about like the 5 Deuce Hoovers, like 5 Deuces, like 5 Deuce. They got 5 Deuce Hoovers outside of they got 5 Deuce Hoovers outside of what's the name? Outside of LA. You see what I'm saying? So, but a lot of the Hoovers now they bang criminal. But even then though too, if you talk about Hoovers as a whole entity, yeah, but they still probably wouldn't have more members than the rolling 60s though. You see what I'm saying? Like you go to the Bronx, you're gonna find 60s. You go to New Jersey, you're gonna find 60s. I done seen 60s in Florida. I done seen 60s in Atlanta. I done seen 60s in North Carolina. Listen, a lot of these states where they got 60s, they got 60s in Vegas. Vegas got 60s that's actually in LA that don't fuck with the Vegas 60s. Like Vegas 60s got their own section of 60s, 2 different 60s in one state. I see 60s everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Far Rock 22, I appreciate that donation. What's good, Smiley Wrench Gang? What's good? Stats, what's going on? See what I'm saying? So you know, they got a lot of 5 Deuce Hoovers in Jersey. I wouldn't say there's a whole bunch in New York, but there's a lot of 5 Deuce Hoovers running around. What's the boy, the drill rapper, Costamato? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he from Hoover. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Costamato. I ain't gonna lie, man. I like that nigga music, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, so you know there's a lot of especially in Florida. Yeah, there's mad 60s in Florida. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell people too. Hoover criminals, you can't really count them, but if you talk about Hoover Crips, 5 Deuce Hoovers, them niggas done expanded like everywhere, shit like that. But the whole point of that was too, in LA, as far as like, you know, Bloods and Pirus, there's a lot of beef going on. So that's why they kind of lowers their numbers because they don't have unity. So where in New York, they started out with the UBN, all 5 sets. I mean, the original 5 sets. So they all had unity between those 5 sets. But now you see a lot of those sets is beefing with each other now too. And, you know, it's crazy that a lot of this shit on the internet. So my perspective from that part, I will probably definitely have to say that it was more easier to be a Blood in New York than it was to be a Blood in California, especially in the jail systems. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest, it's hard for Bloods. You know who it's hard for in the blood in the jail system? It's hard for Bloods. It's hard for Hoover criminals and 8-trade gangsters. It's kind of hard for them in them jail systems. I ain't gonna lie. See what I'm saying? But that's out here. But when you go to when you Crip and you go to jail in New York, it's fucked up for you anywhere. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter what house you go to, what building you go. Now, I mean, now they got Crip houses now, but I mean, before you had none of that shit. You better be happy if you knew 1 or 2 Crips that was inside the house you was staying in. See what I'm saying? You had a nigga at least watching your back. Word up. But other than that, though, yeah, I mean, you was the Lone Ranger riding around in that bitch if you was in jail. See what I'm saying? Because we wasn't taught to be out there to be loud and to be, doing all this crazy shit and all that. So at that time, there wasn't a lot of us doing shit to get us locked up besides walking around with the hammer, selling drugs or some shit like that. That's the shit that we was getting locked, robberies, shit like that. We wasn't out there doing, cutting niggas. That wasn't our shit. You see what I'm saying? Jumping turnstiles and that wasn't our shit. That shit crazy. Blood nigga got mad at me because I told him I was locked up with a lot of blood niggas that got locked up for jumping a turnstile. That's a fact. Every time I used to get locked up, it was a blood nigga in there that was locked up for jumping the turnstile. Nigga just paid $1.50.
Yeah, they took pride in being in those houses. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, man, it's just when it comes down to the blood and Crip perspective, I tell people it's just from the Crip side, it's way more closer and oriented, especially when it comes to New York, New Jersey, as far as the Crip side to having connections with LA. But at the same time, the way the Crips is in New York and New Jersey versus the Crips is in LA, it's the exact opposite because we're the minority. You see what I'm saying? So it's way harder, especially from 95 to I would say 2005. It was super hard. Even after that, I ain't gonna lie. Even after that, even now to this day, it's not easy for you to walk around to this day as a Crip. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, versus how it was 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, it was just way different. Like you was on pins and needles wherever you go. If you wore crates around your neck or on your wrist or wore a flag in your pocket, you took a risk wherever you go. You see what I'm saying? When I had blue flag in my pocket and I'm riding all the way from fucking the Bronx, Gun Hill Road, and I got to go all the way to fucking Jamaica, Queens, I know it's many chances and many risks of me running into the blood niggas. You see what I'm saying? All them damn boroughs, I'm riding through 3 different boroughs. I got to take multiple trains, especially at nighttime. You can get off a train, just miss a train. The next one ain't coming for 45 minutes to an hour sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So now you just waiting there, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of situations that I feel like in New York that put Crips at way more risk than it do to where if you a Crip for the most part inside of LA, all you gotta pretty much do is just not go to niggas' hood. You just gotta not be in niggas' hood. Don't run into a nigga at Fox Hills Mall. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Fox Hill Mall, a lot of shit go down at Fox Hill Mall. But other than that, if you're not going to a damn Lakers game or, a swap meet or some shit like that, even fucking Fun Day Sunday, they would have caught with the low riders and shit be riding around and all that shit at too. They used to have a lot of beef and shit used to go down out there and all that shit too, but they put that shit to a halt now. Now they fuck you up if you come out there on some gangbanging kind of shit now too. So it is, as long as all you gotta do is don't be caught slipping when you get going back to your hood, or don't get caught in another nigga hood. You see what I'm saying? But the difference is, which one of the people brung up is you as a Crip, you gotta also watch out for other Crips, which Crips in New York don't really gotta deal with, especially not back then and back in the day. Now I know in Jersey it's a little different. So now give your Jersey perspective on as far as how to, because people think New York and New Jersey is the same, but that's why Stats is gonna tell y'all the Jersey perspective is a little bit different.
Yeah, so now when it comes to Jersey, it's more of a EBK, ABG type thing. A lot of individuals, you know what I'm saying, they may be a part of whatever hood, let's say 60s, or let's say Grape Streets, Hoovers, you got 111, you got what else we got out here? We got 30s, we got the 30s, we got a couple of other sets. I'm trying to name them all, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's basically sectioned off. So that a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, for instance, other grape hoods ain't cool with other grape hoods.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, there's times where, you know, grapes is oppressing 60s and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And then especially being from North, we've always been the type of individuals where if you ain't like, we kind of got like a Cali mind state. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't from North repping your shit, if your shit ain't from North, we like, man, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the character that we have. But now a difference between us, like we don't have a universal handshake. Like, you know, with New York, they have a universal handshake, us we don't. You know what I'm saying? And then it's more, you know, whereas though, like if you ain't from our shit, you ain't from our hood, and our hood may have tension and friction, 9 times out of 10 it could be some transgression. So that's is no real unity with the cripping, but it can be personal. Sometimes it's more personal. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I know dude, you know what I'm saying, he cool, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's the hood politics and things of that nature.
No, that's a fact, man. So I try to tell people as close as Jersey and New York is to each other. Jersey had Crips before New York had Crips. Like, you done heard many notable people from California that say that they'd been in Jersey since the 80s. To where, you know, the shit didn't really come to New York till the 90s. So when it comes down to Jersey, that's why Jersey, they move more Cali oriented too, because the people who brung it out there, they wasn't on no, oh shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, fucking we gonna do this whole unity shit, because the New York shit didn't even happen like that yet. And you know, and I'm gonna be honest, New York wasn't like everybody else was like, yo, listen, everybody else is fighting each other. Let's do the opposite and do unity. The numbers was just so low. The numbers was just so low. It was almost like it just made sense. And I don't know who the person that came up with that decision, but whoever that was, it just made sense. You see what I'm saying? Because this is, you literally talking about 26 years later, and the shit is the universal handshake. You know, even though it's been switched up once, maybe twice, but it still remains the same, and it still exists to this day. So where in Jersey, like Stat said, you got, I would probably say the main gangs out there, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is probably just the Five Deuce Hoovers, the Rolling 60s, and the Grape Streets. You see what I'm saying? Even though I know the 111s run crazy out there too, but as far as like main gangs, like notables.
Yeah, that's true. I would say those are the main notables, like, and that way it will probably be Grape Street, probably Hoover second and third, 6 O's. And there's 30s, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? But as far as where we're speaking of numbers, it's definitely Grape Street.
Look, yo, read the comment. Read the comment.
He said Jersey had crucial. This nigga don't know. Yo, bro, why is you like?
Now, this is what I mean about these niggas who don't even know their history and all that, the shit that they be talking about. Any clear person know, anybody already know that niggas been had Crips in Jersey. It have been people been out there said that already since the 80s. 80s. This nigga said Crip was upstate in New York since 80. Oh no. Hold on, I'm gonna put him in timeout for that. I'm put you in timeout just for that one.
Yo,
just
and
because you said that.
The part about it, the individual that's saying these things, you was blood. You was blood.
That, and what I want y'all to know, that's an ex-blood nigga that's up here typing. That is an ex-blood nigga who shout out Bloods a lot, that's up here trying to tell me about Crip knowledge. This nigga was born in like 1996 or some stupid shit like that. How the fuck would you know what's going on in 1982? But anyway, you know that, man. We over here got this one running and jumping right now. Here they come. Moderators, get ready. But at the same time, New York and New Jersey, it's just a difference. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference on perspectives too, because that's why they follow. When you go to Jersey, especially Newark specific. I'm not even gonna say the whole Jersey. I'm just gonna say Newark specifically because you know Newark specifically, they run a lot like California out there. You see what I'm saying? To where you go to Trenton, and this shout out to niggas in Trenton. For people in Trenton, this nigga hate Trenton. Like when you go to Trenton, right? And correct me again if I'm wrong. In Trenton, gangbanging just seemed more New Yorkish than it do seem California-ish in Trenton.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand like Jersey is so diverse, especially when it comes to blocks, wards, that because we're sectioned from North. And I'm gonna break it all down so I'm getting back to your point. Like I'm from North, I'm from the North Ward. The North Ward is totally different from the South Ward. The South Ward is totally different from the North Ward. The East Ward is totally different from the West Ward. All of these wards are totally different from each other. So now, when you go further down to middle central Jersey, but for a person from North, we'd be like, man, that's South Jersey, but it's debatable. You know what I'm saying? So those individuals in central so-called South Jersey, they're totally different from us. Some of them sound more Philly-ish and maybe conduct themselves more New York like. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go further down to South Jersey, they conduct themselves more Philly like. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a lot of different flavor in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like Newark is pretty much the only city in Jersey that kind of, you know, gives off their own little style of flavor of things. You know what I'm saying? To where you can identify another Newark dude.
So in Jersey, besides like, see me personally, when I think of like Jersey and I think of gangs, I think of literally three places. I think of Jersey City, I think of Newark, New Jersey, and I think of Trenton. Now outside of those spots, is there anywhere else in Jersey that gets down as far as the back? Because I know this is Jersey we talking about because people sleep on places like other places like Elizabeth and shit, but speak on it.
Oh yes, absolutely. Elizabeth is one. Irvington. What else? Irvington, Roselle. That's where the 30s is usually at. Elizabeth, Roselle, Hillside. What else? Damn, what else do you think? Patterson. What else we got? Shit.
Now out of the ones, because you know the other ones will come to your head. Out of the ones you just mentioned, is it any one of those which one of those is probably blood predominant, and which one of them is probably Crip predominant?
Elizabeth is definitely Crip dominant. Blood dominant.
What about Roselle?
Roselle, kind of like half and half.
Split up.
Yeah.
What about Newark?
Got that. Now, Newark, I would say, I kind of want to say is blood dominant, but then it's like the grapes, we got a large amount of numbers, so we may be second on that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But Newark definitely is there. You know, Newark definitely have a lot of blood.
And Trenton?
Jersey City, though. Matter of fact, Jersey City might be more blooded out.
Yeah. It's been like that for a while.
Yeah, Trenton as well. Trenton as well. Trenton has a lot of bloods out there as well.
So you got one place that's probably, which is probably Roselle, that's probably more Crip predominant too, but in another place too. I mean, in Elizabeth. Yeah, but other than that though too, as far as the other ones, pretty probably like blood predominant and then split up. So that's why a lot of people, because that's why I told Stats, you got Crips in New York that think the Crips in Jersey just know everything that New York got, and they think we go by the same exact knowledge, and they think that they know the universal handshake and all that shit. And that's what I had to, and I tried to break it down too. Like I told my little brother too. I was like, you got to realize you don't be in Jersey. It's just a difference. Like Jersey move like California. So that a lot of people from New York, when they see Jersey Crips, they be automatically assuming like they know all the New York shit. You see what I'm saying? But you know, break it down for them. It's not like that. It's more California based.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely more California based. There's a lot of, especially on, you know what I'm saying, the left side, everything is pretty much California based. There's no homegrown or any, and what I mean from homegrown meaning like a New Jersey Crip set or New York set. There's none on the left side. And what I mean by left side meaning Crip, there's no homegrown Crip sets. Everything is straight from California. And there are the ties are there, the political ties are definitely there. 9 times out of 10 individuals is talking to certain individuals. I ain't gonna give up too much information, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Definitely have a valid connect. Now on the blood side, it's a mixture between homegrown, meaning Nork base sets, meaning a Nork individual decided to create his own little thing or possibly spin something. And then there's also New York sets, and then there's West Coast sets on the blood side.
You see what I'm saying? So
going back to what you said, do we know a lot about the like, you know what I'm saying? No. Some individuals do, like as far as the blood side, because they have more of a connection with New York. But on the Crip side, it's like, nah, we wouldn't really know unless you was an individual that ventured out there and then like really got deep into the New York politics.
No, that's a great way to put it. So basically, I don't know if y'all heard him or not, but basically what he's saying is too, like on the Crip side, you're gonna definitely find nothing but California-based sets. And the reason why it's like that too is because it went out there so early. Like they'll tell you too, especially from the Grape Street side of it too. They'll tell you one of the first places they ventured from when they was out there getting money was to New Jersey. See, people be thinking that people came out here on a gang banging tip and all that. Like their whole intent was like, yeah, let me go to Jersey and just start Crips and Bloods out there. No, the shit don't happen like that. A lot of time they're going to these other places to get money. They end up getting money, just like any real hustler know or anybody know. When you end up out there, you running them streets and you doing dirt like that, eventually you'll end up getting locked up. So what happens is when you get locked up in these systems and stuff like that too, you know, you end up needing protection, or you end up needing the crew you got to run with, or that's when we talking about before the Bloods and shit even came even to New York and all that shit. When you need shit to happen, you know, that's when you start teaching niggas your way and all that shit. But in New York, from that perspective, it's like, yes, did you have other gang members that was in New York before 1993? Of course you did. They was out there, of course. I know niggas from my set that been living in New York. These niggas been Crips since like 88, 89, 90, but they didn't turn Crip in New York at that time. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a difference when it comes down to perspective right there too. So what we're gonna do is real quick, man, we're gonna definitely get into these sponsors real quick. And listen, man, 84 people in the building, man. Y'all definitely hit that like button for me, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Stats 280, man, for sure, man. It's King, it's Stats 280, King EBK. Go subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Melly Mel, 2 L's, all caps, all facts on her channel, man. No lies, all facts. And go subscribe to my guy Fonz Poe. If y'all like them dope cartoons, you into any kind of art, go check out my son Fonz Poe channel, man.
South Park, man.
That's a fact, man. Yeah. So with that being said, man, let's get into these sponsors real quick, man. Yeah. Now I know what y'all thinking. Home Smiley, what you doing? You know what I'm doing? I'm looking for Christmas gifts right now. You know Christmas is coming down. You may got your girl birthday. You may got some kind of holiday to where you need to holler at M14 Clothing and Shopping Apparel. Yes, sir. They got everything. So that's what I'm doing. I know they like, why you in this small screen looking at clothing right now? M14 Clothing, man. They got everything you need, man. They got winter apparel. They got masks. I mean, oh my God. Look at the Scorpio. Y'all know I'm a Scorpio. So y'all know we get to the Scorpio stuff. You know I got to keep looking in there. You see what I'm saying? So they got men clothing, they got women clothing, they got joggers, they got t-shirts, they got boots, they got fanny packs, they got masks, they got everything you need. You want stuff custom? They got you. You want a specific color? They got you. Patterns? They got you. M14, man. They got all the stuff you need for different seasons. They got, listen, they got furs. I mean, listen, the book bags is crazy. My son already on there talking about, Dad, they got kid stuff. Come on, man, this is M14. Of course they do. And when you get there, all you got to do is use the promo code, DIRT. Yeah, you're going to get a little discount. Use the promo code, DIRT, and tell them Harlem Smiley sent you, man. M14, new designer fashion, man. Y'all know how it go, man. Harlem Smiley. Yeah. Salute to M14.com, man. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go over there, grab your newest apparel, man, because y'all know how to go. Summertime coming. That all that stimulus money is gone. Everything's opening back up right now, man. Salute to everybody out there who work hard to get what they got, man. You see what I'm saying? Who work hard to get what they got. You ain't had to scam nobody. You ain't had to steal from nobody. You ain't had to wait around for no settlements or none of that stupid shit like that, man. Salute to all the people who work hard to get to where they at in this perspective, man. Make sure y'all go to M14.com, man. Use that promo code DIRT and get 30% off, man, your whole order. But salute to my guy DMX, man. And don't worry, man. We going, listen, man. This is just, listen, man. Salute to DMX, man. Salute to DMX. Like, damn, son. DMX has had a long journey. DMX has had a long journey when you talk about as far as drug abuse. It's been, yo, real right trade. Don't worry. We got the Harlem Smiley story coming for y'all. You know I got you. You know I got you. See what I'm saying? Everybody throw the prayer emojis up in the chat right now for DMX. Put the prayer hands up there right now for DMX, man. Salute to DMX, man. If you didn't like DMX once upon a time, use a sucker. Listen, DMX, he ain't been doing no greasy shit out there in these streets. Yeah, he been, the drug habit, yeah. You see what I'm saying? But he ain't had no scandal going on with no females and no stupid shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, he just been doing, he been messing up drug-wise, man. But if you ain't like DMX once upon a time, you was a buster. I ain't gonna lie. Like who don't like DMX? You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he brought joy to each and every person that's probably in this chat right now. See what I'm saying? Especially if you a blood. Yeah, every blood out there barking at niggas and shit. Talking about eating niggas' food and shit. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So, man, listen, man. Everybody go through problems and all that. DMX has been battling drug addiction for a while. He actually did a 12-month stint to where he didn't do that on his own. The judge sentenced him to that for he had to do 12 months inside of for income tax evasion. So instead of her putting him in jail or whatever like that, she decided that she was going to put him inside of a rehabilitation center for 12 months. So before that, he's been battling drug addiction a lot. He's been going in and out, in and out, in and out. But this last time when he did that 12 months and he came out, it almost looked like for the most part, he was getting his shit back together. You see what I'm saying? He was doing shows. He was doing shows in Vegas. He did the versus battle thing with Snoop. He was doing a lot of good. It was almost not saying he was coming back to his old self, because you can look and just tell when drugs after a while has taken a toll on somebody. But at the end of the day, his songs that he did back in the day, can't nobody take that from him. So he was performing a lot of those hits in a lot of places for people. So I don't know if it was the atmosphere that he got back into that made him relapse, but that's what ended up happening. Fall Rock 22, I appreciate that donation. DMX is that uncle that you have love no matter what happens because he was there for the good times and the bad. That's a fact. You see what I'm saying? So nah, DMX not blood. DMX just, you know, that was his stuff that he used to use a lot of their terminology or a lot of terminology they use right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas want to be killers? Yeah, get at me, dog. You know, shit like that. So yeah, but I don't think he was blood or no shit like that. But his music is something that just you can't take away from him. So him performing a lot of those songs, he got back into that same atmosphere. So what happened was they said Friday night, they got a call around 11 o'clock that saying that he was unresponsive. Excuse me, that he fell out inside his apartment, his crib. They called the hospital. The hospital came and they was trying to resuscitate him for like 30 minutes or something like that. Upon that time of them doing that or whatever like that too, it was 30 minutes that his brain wasn't getting oxygen because he was non-responsive. His brain wasn't getting oxygen for 30 minutes. So what happened is they felt like after that 30 minutes, that kind of messed up a lot of stuff in his brain. There's two stories that's coming out right now about DMX. There's one story that's basically saying he has parts of his brain is responsive. Not all of it, but parts of it. It's other reports out there that's using the term vegetative state. And they're not trying to be funny when they're using that terminology because I seen people like, why they try to be funny? Like, that's not a funny terminology that they're trying to use when they're using that. That's actually to where they're saying there's no parts of his brain that's unresponsive, and it's pretty much the machines that's keeping him alive. But they're waiting to see if that change. So a vegetative state don't means that he's dead or anything like that, or he's passed away. It's pretty much meaning right now at this time, his brain and his stuff is not responding to anything right now, but it's a chance that that may change. So that's why they're not pronouncing him or anything like that. So either way you put it, whether he's in a vegetative state or whether he's in or whether part of his brain is responsive, it's still a bad look. It's still a bad look for DMX because, and it's not me saying this, I don't want to seem like I'm no doctor. I was just reading up a lot on this for these last couple of days. That's why I didn't speak on it earlier than that. But it's a lot of people that feel like best case scenario comes up, he can be in a wheel. They feel like he's going to be in a wheelchair because it's going to take a lot of time for his organs and stuff like that to, you know. But as far as him being standing up and doing all that rapping and stuff like that performance, and shout out to Swiss Beats and Timberland, because for us, it was just a versus battle. For a lot of people, that may be the last time you see DMX actually like standing up happy performing one of his songs or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's even a deeper element now because it's not even like you could really even go back and watch it unless, you know, I mean, a couple of people on YouTube done bootlegged it, but they shit probably done got copyrighted already. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's gonna be bad either way you put it. That's best case scenario. We already know what the worst case scenario is. I'm not even gonna say it. See what I'm saying? But at the same time, yeah, Joe Urso said he's gonna live though. That's a fact. I feel like that too. I'm hoping so. I'd rather him be alive and just be able to be around his family, regardless of the state. You know, let them, you know, do that kind of a deal. But at the same time, you know, we all hoping he's gonna pull through. You see what I'm saying? We all hoping he was gonna pull through. Shanika Town Business said, I saw DMX live last month. Did you see him when he was in Vegas, Shaniqua? So yeah, she's, you know, you're one of the rare people who might have actually get to see him besides that versus battle. But for 500,000+ people, you know, that versus was good, and it was a lot. And I'm gonna be honest too, you know, they pretty much said they didn't say what the drugs was, and I'm glad they didn't say what the drug was. I hope they don't even come out and say what the drug is. Only thing they're saying is that he OD'd. I'm glad that they're only saying that. So what they basically saying, oh, All-Star Weekend, okay. In Atlanta, okay, got you, copy. I didn't even know he performed that All-Star Weekend. I ain't gonna lie, I was running around like crazy, but okay, I got you. Let's just say, for the most part, that whole versus battle was the last thing that DMX, as far as like doing performances, big performances in front of all those people, was good. Because I don't want them to think the last thing, oh, they come out and say it's this drug. And then the last thing people is thinking about, like, oh shit, you know, he was a this head or he was a this head. And like, because right now they're just saying OD. I like that they're using that terminology instead of saying like he OD'd off of this. Because the last memories that's coming to my head right now is DMX having fun at that versus battle. You see what I'm saying? I'm not looking at him as no other way, because right now it could, listen, some stuff is looked down upon more than others. That's why I'm glad they're not saying what it is. And I hope nobody never come out and say what it is. I hope they just leave it like that. Shaniqua Town Business said exactly, nobody is perfect. So I hope they just leave it as that. He made mistakes, it is what it is. But whatever it was that he OD'd on, it kind of gave him a heart attack. When it gave him a heart attack, when the paramedics got there, he was non-responsive. They was trying to resuscitate him for 30 minutes. Through the whole resuscitation process, he, you know, they actually, you know, got him back up and going, but it was 30 minutes it took to do it. So within that 30 minutes, his brain wasn't getting no oxygen. That did a lot of brain damage. So best case scenario is Shaniqua Town Business actually had that rare form to where she actually seen him perform during, you know, All-Star Weekend and all there like that. So, but other than that, though, I don't think we're going to see when DMX. We're going to say when DMX pulled through. We ain't going to say if, we're going to say when. When DMX pulled through, we're going to literally, we're probably not going to see him be on doing performance like X going to give it to. We ain't going to see none of that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the same time, salute to the DMX family. Salute the, listen, man, it's a very touchy feeling. But one thing I like about the whole thing, what they did, they had outside of the hospital, they had a candlelight prayer. I'm not going to call it like a visual. It was like a prayer, candlelight prayer ceremony that they had. Ace Boogie was good. Ebony Renee was good. He had they had a candlelight prayer service for him, and there was a lot of people showed up for that. That was a good look. His fiance and both of his baby mothers showed up just for that. They flew the kids out to attend that just for that. Exclusively me. How you doing today? They flew the kid, all of his kids out just for that. And honestly, that told me a couple of things. It told me that I'm starting to dig the fact, and it's bad that people have to pass away for this to happen, but this is the second time I've seen to where something bad that had happened to somebody and the baby mothers come together and actually like form like a relationship to make sure the kid's good. King Von's baby mothers, rest in peace, King Von did that. And DMX is still around with us too, but I like what DMX baby mothers did too. Along with the fiance was out there. It was no drama, it was no bull crap. All the kids was around each other, you know, stuff like that. So that was actually a good look. All them people was out there supporting, even though I was expecting thousands of people to go out there. It was only hundreds of people, but they didn't It wasn't like a super promotional kind of thing. They put it up there, and it is what it was at that time. But that was a good look. But it also told me that they also know and expect that things could go, take a little turn for the worse. So at this time, they wanted to do something to where, everybody could definitely, get involved and get in tune with it kind of deal. But who knows, man? One thing I do know about DMX done fought through a lot of stuff in his career. He done fought through a lot of stuff in his life. See what I'm saying? He done been oppressed by a lot of people many a times. And he done fought through that too. And he done did it to himself too. But at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm going to drop the link one more time to see if anybody else wants to chime in on the DMX part of this segment. And yeah, man, this is your boy Harlem Smiley, man. You've been tuned into the one and only Dirt Gang TV. This is the Come On Son podcast, brought to you, presented by M14.com, man. Make sure you use that promo code DIRT to get your 30% off your newest clothing apparel, man. You want to run around town, you want to be looking, listen, you want to be looking like your favorite artist in these streets or your favorite basketball player, but you don't want to spend them crazy prices, even though they got some good pricey stuff on M14. They got everything you need, kids apparel, all that. So, man, go check it out, man. Don't take my word for it, man. Go to M14.com and you'll definitely, you'll definitely see what's going on. Matter of fact, should I just put the banner up? Where's my banner at? But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Yeah, here we go. Got the banner going across the bottom right there. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the link real quick. See if anybody want to come. Chime in on this DMX situation. And salute to everybody on Facebook right now. Salute to everybody on Twitch right now. I see y'all out there. I know I'll be forgetting to shout y'all out because I'll be forgetting to look down at the laptop sometimes. I don't got y'all right now up on this, up on this part of town, but down here on the laptop, I'll be forgetting to look at y'all comments, man. I do apologize, man, but y'all know I rock with y'all to the fullest extent, man, and salute to all of y'all out there. And if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel if you rock with your boy one time, man. And definitely make sure, you hit that like button on your way in, on your way out. Definitely hit that like button for your boy, man. And if you could, share it, man. Share it for your boy one time, man. You know how that go. But other than that, nope. Let me see. My guy, Fall Rock 22.
Yo,
I always appreciate that donations, my guy. What's good? What's the good word, man?
You already, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. Shout out to the panel, or not panel. Shout out to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Wrench Gang. You know how that goes.
That's a fact, man. So what's your input on this whole DMX thing, man? I mean, because I already know how us old heads, we feel some kind of way about this, man. But go ahead.
We grew up on that, man. 97, 98, you know what I'm saying? Right after Pac died, you know what I'm saying? He was the man that just came in and like he was the energy that rap game needed at that time. You know what I'm saying? So DMX did a lot for us musically growing up, you know what I'm saying? He gave us a lot of different music, you know what I'm saying? Like he gave us a lot of different sides. He could show you the savage side, he could show you the prayer side, like like he has he's a human, you know what I'm saying? And he definitely gave you a story, like even with the slipping and falling, you know what I'm saying? That's like one of my favorite songs right there, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who been through something could kind of relate to that. And X gave you that, like he let you know, nigga, I could relate to you. Don't think this Dark Man X just came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But no matter what, he gave you prayer in his music. He gave you prayer in the skits. He said some of the illest prayers. You know what I mean? Great actor.
Those skits was dope. And that's a lot of things people don't even talk about DMX as far as when it comes down to the movies. It's been a lot of rappers out there that done tried that acting shit and done flopped like a motherfucker.
DMX had it. It was not a bad movie. You could say he didn't act good, and you'd be like, nah. Even if the movie, you wasn't feeling the movie, you'd be like, well, DMX did his thing. I don't give a fuck what nobody said.
That's a fact. And I don't care if it was a movie the way he was playing the cop. He was playing, like, you see what I'm saying? He did shit with Aaliyah and fucking, who was that? Jackie Chan? No. Who's the other nigga? Was that Jackie Chan? No, who's that other nigga? Jet Li, yeah. See what I'm saying? So what's it, Steven Seagal? He done did like movies with some, I'm saying, with some crazy different actors. So it wasn't just like it was no rap kind of movie shit. Yeah, like nah, this nigga had to do kicks and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, so Melly is a hero.
That's a fact, man. Melly Mel, what's your yo Melly Mel, man? What's your perspective on this whole Melly Mel? What's good, man?
It was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, and Alicia. Listen, DMX is the fucking dog. The only rapper that named like 15 females and they all rhyme together.
Yep.
I can't do it.
Nah, I wouldn't even try to do it because he did that shit so well and he mastered it. Anybody else who do it, they gonna just sound stupid. It had been 2 or 3 people tried and it just sounds stupid.
It won't work.
Yeah,
that's DMX.
Yeah.
You imagine somebody came on here talking about like, nah, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Like, nah, you get the fuck out of here. That's DMX, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Do that.
Yeah.
Nobody can talk.
I try to tell people, especially in New York too. It was once upon a time. I always had, like, it was many eras of top 5 that I used to always have in New York. Like, I used to always have, like, this is especially 90s, 2000s, you know, shit like that. I always have, like, Jay-Z, Nas. Then at once upon a time, I even had, like, especially, like, 97, 98, 99, I had Mace. Inside of, like, my, what's the name? See what I'm saying? It was some Confessions of Fire era, too. I might have had Cameron in there. Pun. He was alive. Earlier than that, 97, you know, earlier than 97 had Big L in there. But yeah, it was just like DMX. Yeah, DMX was just always in that category when you came to for a long time. Especially, and I was saying like a 5 to 7 year era, even though it was a lot of people that was changing, he was just kept coming out with crazy albums. You see what I'm saying? Like this nigga had 5 great albums in a row. You see what I'm saying? It's not too many people who you could say had 5 great albums in a row and dropped 2 1 year. This is crazy.
Platinum.
So you know, it's like when you think about the shit he did,
he's a legend.
He's a legend. He's definitely a legend. That's a fact. So you know, and you talking about freestyling, he done been in battles again, he done did diss tracks against people. That shit, Diss and Corrupt, is still one of the funniest diss tracks to me too. And a lot of people don't even know he even dissing Corrupt in that song. But real niggas know he dissing the shit out Corrupt in that song. See what I'm saying?
That's my name, right?
Yep, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I love my baby mama. I let her let her go. He talking about Corrupt, nigga. He dissing Corrupt. I love my baby mama. I never let her go. He talking about Corrupt, nigga.
And he dissed him on What's My Name, you know? Be the best. One more time. I see shit.
Yeah.
The same rhyme. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And I was like, but you see, a lot of people didn't know that because before Twitter and all that shit, you really had to be in tune to music. You had to have somebody in the streets tell you, like, nah, son, he was fucking with Foxy, and that shit got out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Because even 50 put it out there. I put something in that drop to bring that Corrupt cop. You know what I'm saying? When you was talking about Robin Foxy, I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And that was 99.
That was 99. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, Chilltown Major said, and he even dissed Ja Rule in 02. You see what I'm saying?
Right?
That's a fact. DMX, he did it all. That nigga did it all. He gave you the girl songs. He gave you them songs that you could sit there and cry to. I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. He gave you every aspect. Yep, Damon. Yo, listen, he gave you and he gave you that crazy shit you could play in your speakers. See what I'm saying? That
people don't know.
I'm telling you, you crazy.
People
Snake,
don't know.
the rat, the cat, the dog. You go and see it when you living in the fall.
You know, Damien exposed the music industry. That song exposed the music industry. You know, I gave you all the fly whips, taking the trips across seas. They got flossed it. And you know what I mean? Now they got bleed. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like every aspect. When you came to lyricism and everything, DMX gave you everything that you needed. When you listen to his catalog, It's nothing that's missing. It's not one thing on a playlist that you can be like, oh, I'm listening for this kind of song and I can't find it. You see what I'm saying? And it's not a lot of rappers that can say that. So that's why when I did my top 50 rapper list and all that too, that's why he was definitely so high up there on the bracket, because he did shit that other people ain't gonna never do. 2 platinum albums in 1 year, you ain't gonna get a like. Now that's popular, but people like him gave people the ambition to even try to do some shit like that. Now they like, oh shit, X did it in '99. Why the fuck I can't do it in 2020, 2021? You see what I'm saying? So
Nas did it.
Yeah, Nas did that shit. You see what I'm saying? So you know, it was just he started a lot of trends, and that's why he played into this too. Because do you feel like DMX played on a lot of trends and a lot of sayings that the Bloods use in New York right now?
Yo, I say this, right? He made it popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell you this, I'm quite sure probably in Yonkers, being in jail, he was probably around some of them dudes and took the lingo, and you know, they ain't CJ him. You know what I'm saying? They ain't CJ him when was popping, and you know, get at me, dog, because that was the you would have sworn
that was a blood anthem. Yeah, because that was a blood anthem. Crips, younger Crips like myself, didn't even like listening to that song in a Walkman because that shit sounded like a blood anthem.
It was very insulting.
You see what I'm saying? That's a fact. You got all the blood niggas saying that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Because at once upon a time, that was a lingo in New York. What up, dog? What up, dog? You even had the weird niggas go, what up, doggy? You see what I'm saying? Call you shit like that. So you know, to niggas outside of New York, it sounds weird, but that was actually a saying. I know y'all know about the what up, son, and what up, B. You know, y'all hear that, but it was a lot of other shit besides that had like, you know, short stints amount of trends. So when he came out, good.
You never seen DMX really wear blue. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
It's like everybody, he was never around a blue crowd. I don't even think DMX did a song with Snoop.
Nope,
you know
not even to mention too the Yonkers, and I don't know, that's why I don't speak on Yonkers now, but back then Yonkers was always majority blood.
Yes. Yeah.
Always. Like I think
still. I'm not gonna know, but I think still, because it's right above the Bronx. And they just had an indictment a couple of years ago with some of them Bloods out there. So I don't know if they just was being investigated or if they the ones that run the land. But I would assume, if I had to bet dollars to donuts, I would say Bloods probably hold a majority in Yonkers. You know what I mean? Like in that area, Mount Vernon and all of that. That's like second home. That's like the Bronx's Long Island. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Or let me just reiterate and put it like this. I have never met a Crip from Yonkers.
Okay.
Like I done seen Crips from Westchester. I done seen Crips from damn Binghamton, Ithaca. When we talking about the upstate shit too. I done seen Crips in Long Island, all kind of shit. But I have never seen nobody, not even on this YouTube shit, be like, yo, I'm Crip from Yonkers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, I have never seen nobody, oh, you know, this Crip set is in Yonkers. And it's probably hopefully somebody pop up here right now and say that's one. But at the end of the day, you know, so it's like when it comes down to DMX, that's why it makes sense. If you out there, and that's all that's really out there too. Because you used to get that, people used to always say that too. Oh, Sheik Luch's blood. You see what I'm saying? So because he said a lot of eat your food lines. Like that, he used a lot of that term a lot. You see what I'm saying? So, but you know, you never seen Sheik Luch though with the red flag and all that shit, like flagging and shit. So, you know, or even throwing up blood. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. But I mean, he could be. But I know Puff Daddy wasn't with none of that shit back in the day.
Don't do that on wax.
Yeah, I never even seen that shit as he got older kind of shit. But he do use a lot of blood terminology, which a lot of people realize, like, that's the difference with New York and California too. A lot of times you don't catch like neutral people just sitting around and just hanging out with the gang members in California. To where in New York, you know, it could just be you and you and a bunch of your locals or a bunch of damus standing there. And you could just have like a couple of people that just from the neighborhood who don't bang in. Niggas is just around, just, you know, smoking and drinking, and just chopping it up kind of shit. Like that's normal because you live in a building kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? Like that's normal. So when you do that, you pick up a lot of that lingo being around these people, even if you're not with that too. So that's the difference. Like you just don't see that shit. Like neutral people in LA Like they don't just be like, oh shit, let me just go hang out. Like even if you're neutral and you live in the 60s, you're not out there just hanging with the gang members. See what I'm saying? Like if you live in the 30s, you're not just hanging out at Martin Luther King Park, just sitting on the benches with the niggas and shit like that, rolling dice and shit behind the benches. Like you're not doing none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So
that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you gotta do and get the fuck up out of there. Right, Melly Mel?
Yeah, but even like growing up in Connecticut, like I still heard like Hot 97 growing up as a kid. So they always played DMX. They always play, you know, Puff Daddy. They always play his music. So just growing up and listening to the radio, like I always heard DMX on the radio. And it just seemed like everybody loved him on the East Coast. Like I feel like that's just everybody loves him everywhere, but specifically the East Coast. Like, yo, he's just so loved here. So when I heard about it, like I even shed a couple tears because I was like, damn, it really like hit home for me because I grew up listening to DMX. So it's just it's sad.
Word up. So Melly Mel, let me being that we definitely talking on that perspective too, and that's why I'm glad it all tunes in with each other, man. I'll be trying to tell people, man. Now, is there Bloods and Crips in Connecticut or not?
Yes, there are Bloods and Crips in Connecticut, but see, the thing about the Bloods and Crips in Connecticut is that you have to be, it's only a certain amount of people that you know for sure is a Blood or a Crip because their big homie or their big man's is from a set, you know, they have their set or wherever they're from, it's like that here. It's not like they make their own Crip or Blood sets, like, nah. You feel me? It's not like that here. So either they big homie is from like New York or, somewhere where it's actually sanctioned.
Okay, so is this safe? So now in Boston it's different because Boston actually, does Boston actually have Bloods and Crips sets in Boston?
They do. Yeah, they have Bloods and Crips sets in Boston, yeah.
And the reason why I'm asking her this too is because Boston and Connecticut is close, like how New York and New Jersey is.
They're hand in hand.
You see what I'm saying too. So a lot of people be thinking what goes on in one goes on in the other, but it doesn't. Now, would you say besides Oakland and Philadelphia, Connecticut is the one other place that they may have Bloods and Crips that live in Connecticut, but there's no Bloods and Crips sets in Connecticut?
Right. No. It's not no homegrown blood sets from Connecticut. It's not no homegrown blood sets in Connecticut. Like niggas didn't just make up no blood set. No, they come from a known blood set or known Crip set.
Like a Commodore Street Bloods from Connecticut. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be like a legit blood set that they come from. But they big homies is not from Connecticut. You get what I'm saying?
New York or
they either from New York or somewhere else.
So they're not from Connecticut. They just living in Connecticut.
Yeah, they just live in Connecticut. But you feel me? They a big homie though, from whatever set they come from.
So I got a question. Like you in Hartford, right? So
yeah.
Like, is it true? Like they got that gang out there, like the Solids, the Solidads, or something like
the Solitos.
Solitos.
The Solitos. Yeah, that's a Spanish gang though.
Okay, so they like dominant
and
ones
they get it
over
on with the Latin Kings. They get it on with the Latin Kings, but that's the south end of Hartford. That's not the north end of Hartford. That's another side of town. Okay. But yeah, we do have the Solitos. It's not too many of them now because niggas died, niggas went to jail, but you still have your select few that actually still rep the Solitos.
Right, and they wear red and blue, right?
They wear whatever the fuck they want to wear.
That's crazy. But yeah, that's why it makes sense because there's no see when these certain places too, when these people wear colors, they don't even wear it. They don't even call it color banging. You see what I'm saying? Like in Oakland, they got gangs. It's just no color banging gangs. So they don't call that's what they call Crips and Bloods, color banging gangs.
Right.
But it's like when you in New York, everybody, if you flag a color, you in a gang.
Straight jacket.
That's how you notable. Like in New York, I would probably say like if the Latin Kings didn't wear yellow or gold, you wouldn't really know them. If the Trinitarios didn't wear green, you didn't know who the fuck they was. If the Dietas didn't wear white, you wouldn't know who the fuck they was. If the Crips didn't wear blue, you wouldn't know who they was. Same thing with the Bloods wearing red, you wouldn't know who they was. And the GDs now wear black.
All right.
So you have all these major gangs in New York that all flag colors. You see what I'm saying? But it's
in Chilltown Majors, he got a point because most of the Bloods and Crips, they do that in New Haven. We don't do that in Hartford. They do that in New Haven because they have certain hoods that are just Blood and they have certain hoods that are just Crip. But if you, like I said, most of them, the big homies, the people who brought people home is from the city. New Haven is closer to New York City than Hartford. So you got a lot of people that came from New York that, settled into New Haven and, put people on that way. But he right. In New Haven, it's different hoods and they color bang out there. We don't do that in Hartford.
I noticed that a lot of places outside of the bigger cities, they really do color bang. Like if you go to places like Memphis, if you go to certain places in North Carolina, South Carolina, they really are color banging. If you don't belong in this side of town, they're not asking no questions. They're not asking what neighborhood you from. If you just wearing too much of a certain color, like in New York, it's just where you from. You know what I mean? Who you fucking with? Because niggas grow up with each other. You know what I'm saying? What project you from? You could be Blood from one project, Blood from another project, but it just so happened these projects don't like each other. It got nothing to do with Blood situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's
that's a fact.
But I just noticed that goes on in a lot of smaller cities outside of like New York and LA, where it is that they just strictly black and white with it.
That's a fact. That's like Chicago. Chicago don't even consider themselves having gangs. Now there's no Crips and Bloods in Chicago either, as far as like sets. Now it may be some that live out there, as far as like every other place. You go to Pennsylvania, that don't mean you ain't gonna run into a Crip or a Blood. I mean, as far as Philadelphia, excuse me, not the whole Pennsylvania, but as far as Philadelphia goes, that don't mean you're not gonna run into a Crip or a Blood. You see what I'm saying? That just means you're not gonna find no set out there, as far as like, oh, this is Crip and Blood. This is where you can find this set at.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's no shit like that. Same thing with Oakland. If you think there's no Crips or Bloods that live in Oakland, you're stupid as fuck. You see what I'm saying? But as far as you having full blown sets and shit out there and all that shit, like nah, you're not gonna be able to find no set like when you go to Oakland, no shit like that. Right. But yeah, man, Chicago don't even consider they shit like GDs and shit, like BDs and shit. Sometimes Stones and Vice Lords, they don't even consider themselves gangs. You see what I'm saying? Word up.
Well, you gotta look at it crazy. Like because you know why? Because just like kind of like California, right? It's more like a culture rather than something that's just, you could pick and choose from. It's really embedded into you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people really grew up in that, like the Stones, the GDs, the BDs, Vice Lords. A lot of these gangs been around the 50s and the 60s. You know what I mean? When grandpappies was, banging, and they didn't start off as gangs. So it's like if your grandfather a GD, you're like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people die. It's like a family. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to denounce that. People die behind that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to call it a gang because it's like, nah, this ain't a gang. This is what it is.
What it is? It's always good to speak on it because you got people like J Timo that, like the acts, he said, let me see what he said, man. You shouldn't even speak on it. The East Coast copycats. Why would y'all claim a set that's from Cali? Ain't never been there. And then he said, you don't see Cali niggas banging New York shit. Rep your own neighborhood. This brother doesn't really know what he's talking about. So, yeah, so look, let's see people like, good. I'm gonna let you answer it first. This shit breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, like, for instance, what you're saying, like, it's breaking up.
Hold on, Stats, your shit frozen. Your shit, hold on. Let me remove you and bring you back in real quick. Let me see if we can get unfrozen. But yeah, I'm gonna answer your question real quick. Then I'm gonna as soon as Sashi get unfrozen, he gonna chime in on it. J Timo. First off, the crazy part about it is, you know, normally I would just not even answer this shit too, but this is the whole reason why this channel even exists. A lot of people in New York don't know what goes on in California, because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people don't come out here from either side. Now, when it comes from the opposite perspective too, a lot of people from California never go to New York neither at the same time. So they don't know what goes on out there. But somebody like me, who actually lived in both places for many years, born and raised in New York, lived in California off and on since the year 2000. One thing I can tell you is we didn't come out there and just watch the movie Colors. It was like, oh shit, we like the way they look in California. We gonna start just, you know, we gonna take that whole blood and Crip shit. J Timo, what I'm trying to tell you is the people who came from California and came to New Jersey, and the people who came from California and came to New York, and they started those sets and shit out there like that, they came from California. When it comes down to the Crip side, they came from California. You see what I'm saying? So that's where people don't really get they don't get what New Yorkers be saying. It's not like we just took the shit. Niggas came from out there, put us on to the shit, we ran with it. You hear a lot of these old
and blew it up. And that's the thing. We exposed it. When New York touched something, I don't give a fuck. You had California and all these other cities had crack before New York. But when that shit hit New York, boom, it blew the fuck up. So yeah, when the gangs or the Bloods and Crips, we had gangs. People be saying, oh, New York gang don't have gang. We have a gang culture in New York. It's just not California style. It's not like Texas style. It's not Chicago style. So when we get something like how y'all got rap and y'all took it and started calling women bitches and shit and all of that, that was okay. We'd be like, huh? But there was some people that's like, nah, I fuck with it. So everybody didn't denounce the gang and dish niggas and be like, ah, fuck niggas. That was what the rappers were saying, because they didn't agree with the style. But there was some people who was like, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when New York gets something, we blow it up. We blow it up, and then people see like, oh, I don't like their style that they doing. They doing it the fake way. They don't do it our way. No, we doing it our way. We doing it our way. It just so happens that a lot of people don't like the way we did it. It's just we got it a little later. Yeah, we didn't have it in the 60s or 70s when it first came out. No, so we don't have that connection. But we didn't just see, like he said, we didn't just see, watch Colors, watch Members of Society and say, oh yeah, I can fuck with this. Yo, we starting up our own shit. No, somebody came out here who probably had 2 strikes on them, you know what I'm saying? Came out here, say, yo, what's up? Got down with it, you know what I mean? Put niggas on, niggas feeling the shit and say, yo, we like this. We like this movement. And that's what happened. I'm not gonna say we, but as a New Yorker, the state of mind that we are, if we see something that's profitable, we see something that's gonna make a wave, niggas is gonna fuck with it. We gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, you know what it is, Paul Rock. Just from his last comment, that's why I could tell he's a troll. Because at the same time, you see what I'm saying? No real person would have even respond after that shit that we had said. What he just responded with, he talking about we acting like Bloods and Crips started in New York. It's a clear thing that we just always say, correct. So nobody even said anything. I try to tell people all the time, it was many more states that had Bloods and Crips before New York. It's not just New Jersey. Texas had Bloods and Crips before New York had it.
Oregon, Washington.
Oregon, correct. This is what I'm trying to tell niggas, man. You see what I'm saying? So you know, listen, man. At the same time, nobody's giving none of those states slacks. It's just because we're New York. Because we're New York. But this is the reason why you don't hear New York dissing California people. You don't hear New Yorkers, regardless of what people from California say, you don't ever hear them dissing sets. Go ahead, Far Rock.
Because you know why? Because real respect, real. Let me tell you something. A lot of my music that I listen to is California music. Because you know why? They don't bite nobody. They shit is original sound, original funk. I like they little shit. and I fuck with, because California always had their own wave. I respect their way. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, when it comes to New York, like you said, there's a lot of people that respect New York shit. You know what I'm saying? Over there's a lot of people who say, fuck it, it is what it is. I can't stop it, but you know, it is what it is. That's what they do over there. They ain't got palm trees, they got buildings, they got other things, they got other sounds. You know what I'm saying? He driving 6 Fords, they driving Lexuses. They doing their own thing. I'm not knocking it.
That's a fact. So that's why I get mad sometimes, right? Because it's a lot of fuck shit that doesn't happen. It's a lot of shit like that's why I be getting tight. That's the whole reason why.
Yeah, your mic.
Oh, my fault. That's the whole reason why this channel started, was because people, they always get that misconception and not just realizing at the end of the day, it's been a lot of fuck shit happening when it comes down to this gang shit that happened way before it even got to New York. It's just New York, where they put so much of an emphasis on us. And a lot of people are so quick to hate on anything that happens in New York that ends up happening a lot. Like, say, for instance, right? It's been Crips and Bloods even outside of LA. The shit went to Sacramento, nobody said nothing. The shit came to San Diego, nobody said nothing. The shit went to Las Vegas, nobody said nothing. The shit went to Kansas City, nobody said nothing. Where's Rum Nitty from? The battle rapper. As Arizona? It went to Arizona, nobody said nothing. It's in St. Louis, Missouri, nobody said nothing. Jersey's been out there for a while. Nobody said nothing to any one of these states, and most of those states have Bloods and Crips from New York, before New York. Nobody said nothing till it gets to New York. Second thing. Nobody never talk about the whole Black P Stone shit going from Chicago to New York. They so quick to downplay the GDs and all the shit, because why the GDs in New York? But nobody ever say how Black P Stone went from being 5-point star, just being Black P Stone, to it get to LA, and then now they're labeled Bloods. Nobody never said that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot of stuff that's been happening, but it's just because it gets to New York, now it's, oh shit, all these niggas is fake and all. Listen, that's why I try to tell people, I'm way beyond trying to please people to convince niggas, oh, you Crip and all that. Listen, if it's a nigga been banging 20 plus years, he'd have been putting in that work for 20 plus years, ain't got no fraudulent shit on his name, it's nobody in this world should be able to tell that nigga from no coast, nowhere, that nigga's fake. I don't give a fuck if he's from Iowa, is he from Kansas, if he's from Mississippi, I don't give a fuck where he's from. That man been putting in work 20 plus years, no fraudulent shit on his name. You, because you're from the original spot, you as a nice 11-year Crip, 12-year Crip, can't tell this nigga because you're from LA and you be banging for 12, 13 years, but he's from Louisiana and he's been banging for fucking 25 years. Oh, you real, but he not. But he done put in double the amount of time to work than you.
Word.
It don't work. Correct. It don't work like that. So that's why I try to tell people, at the end of the day, a lot of people y'all have to start going both places. Y'all have to start going both places, because unless you go to both places, you wouldn't understand or get a perspective from both sides of the fence. You can't put the shoe on the other foot if you never been on the other side.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's crazy. And that's why I'm one of the rare people, and I'm not, listen, man, I'm not out here trying to make it seem like I'm like the super Crip or no shit like that. Yeah, I know I don't even glorify that shit at all. I don't glorify the gang banging shit at all. I just speak on it because it's a lot of people who need to hear, you know, the negative and the positive part about it too, to realize there's some positive being done as long as the negative too. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, listen, y'all all know I was born and raised that. I open these windows, I can just show y'all niggas palm trees, man. See what I'm saying? It's palm trees flowing, man. So once again, you know, I done been on both sides. For 20, I done seen both sides for over 20 years. So I done seen the transitions, all that. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like the proving the shit, that shit is way far beyond that. Way far beyond that. But you got people in California that's literally think like that. I don't give a fuck who your big homie. I don't give a fuck
Your big homie could be somebody who they know just came from they set. They ain't see 10, 15 years, knowing he'd have been in your state, putting y'all niggas on the shit. You can go back over there and be like, yeah, you know, big such and such, my big homie and all that too. Listen, well, you from Memphis? Nah, you see what I'm saying? It's people that's always gonna think like that, like this dumbass nigga in the chat. If you not from California, I mean, not even from California, you not from LA, then you not blood, or you not Crip, or you not Pyru. Because there's niggas that think like that about the Sacramento niggas, the San Diego niggas, the Texas niggas, the Las Vegas niggas. They think all the surrounding areas, they think that about them niggas too. But then you got people inside of California that feel like that, okay, well, if you're not Crip and blood from California, then you not Crip or blood at all. So it's like you got to deal with that. It's a lot of shit. But then when you bring the New York aspect of it, talking about, oh, you a Crip or blood from New York, man, listen.
You ain't from the West.
Man, listen, all kind of shit gonna happen. That's why I be laughing at these the little trolls and shit and all that. Like, you know, all these little content creators that so-called bangers that try to speak on. Like, once again, this is not me sitting there doing research on all this shit on the computer and all that. All this shit fresh from the brain. It's freestyle. This shit is free. This shit is freestyle. I literally have nothing over here written down because all the shit is in my brain already. There's no shit to write shit down. When I do segments and all that shit for interviews, or if I'm doing like a certain shit like that, I write a lot of notes down. But when it comes down to talking about this gang shit, I don't write no fucking notes down. All this shit is freestyled off the head because this is stuff that I've experienced myself. There's not nobody telling me their story, me listening to other YouTubers and no stupid shit like that. This is literally me, literally just telling y'all exactly my experiences. That's why when I do the Harlem Smiley story, I give y'all my experiences and my experiences only. I'm not sitting there talking about my uncles and shit that I got uncles and shit that got mad 1993 Rikers Island jail stories, but them niggas don't be on YouTube, so I ain't gonna be the first one to put them in on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So, yo, listen, man. You know what? Hold up. Let me let's put a couple of these in time. Yo, my guy Bishop, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure y'all definitely go subscribe to the channel. You know how that go, man. Brandon Creighton, what's good, man? We got another Harlem Smiley story coming in that's coming in a few.
Yeah,
but that's why
we're waiting on that, man.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. Listen, man, it's not too many left, man, but you know, it's going to be a good one, man. Bishop, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yo, listen. You, Melly Mel, Stats 284, Rock 22, man. Yo, listen. I appreciate the donations, but damn. Y'all niggas, yo, listen, man. Y'all niggas is crazy, man. You see what I'm saying? So you know how that go. But yeah, man. I appreciate that. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, and it's spelled just like that, man. If y'all rock with good content, he do reaction videos, and he also do GTA 5 RP. I'm not even gonna lie. You see what I'm saying? That's probably the best RP right now on there too. You got him, you got they actually, you know, they part of Ghost Gang, so DJ Ghost is actually the gang leader in they GTA 5 RP. That shit is dope, man. So you got Nino got a channel, man. AP Apply Pressure. Go subscribe to that channel. I'm trying to think of all them shits right now, but I can't even think of those two. But definitely get with my guy Bishop. He'll fill y'all in on everybody right now that's doing that role play. That should be dope too. So I ain't even gonna lie. He got a lot of the gangsters just came home from the pen. So see what the hell you be sharing? What's this shit I be watching? I be like, nigga, what you? These niggas ain't have games since Super Nintendos and Sega Genesis and shit. Yeah, he got these niggas ready to go out buy PS5s. I'm like, nah, you got to get a gaming console. Niggas like, what's that? I said, nah, see, y'all niggas, nah, my niggas. So you know that's how dope that shit is. He got people who never even played a GTA game ready to go fucking spend $2,300 to go get a fucking gaming PC to go play that shit. Yeah, that's a fact, man. But salute to him. That's a fact, man. Salute to DJ Ghost, man. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, subscribe to all his channels, man. But other than that, though, man, yeah, man, this topic was always a great topic to talk about because a lot of people, I would always implore people, right? Especially if you're from a set that's actually LA based, I will always, you know, implore people to go out there, check in with the right people, and actually go visit that place once or twice. And I'm gonna be honest, when you go there, you can't go there with the expectations thinking like, oh shit, well, they from great, I'm from great, they gonna rock with me, or I'm from 30s, they from 30s, they gonna rock with me. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. So it ain't gonna, listen, it ain't gonna be like that. I was just telling Stats earlier, Arsenal, the battle rapper, when he went out there to the Jordan Downs and shit, it was a lot of people rocking with him because he rep great crazy. He a battle rap. A lot of people know, but there was still people looking at him like, nah, you great, nigga, but you a Jersey great. You see what I'm saying? So you can't please everybody, especially not the haters. Not the haters, because most people gonna be like, all right, yeah, you know, he talking his shit. You know what he talking about kind of shit too. You see what I'm saying? Niggas is good money. But at the same time, it's other people that sit back and just hating. Like, oh, these niggas on YouTube and all this, and you know, like they gonna hate just to hate.
Like you just told dude, we just told son, like we know we ain't no copycat. We know it ain't start here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's still insists, like, oh, you're copycats. Like, all right, whatever, motherfucker. You can't win with certain people.
That's a fact. Now, listen, I'm gonna be honest. On the blood side, you do have a lot of people that's from New York that don't go to California because they don't got no sets out there. New York has way more homegrown sets on the blood side than they do on the Crip side. So you don't see that a lot, but there is a lot of Skyline Pyrus out there. There's Treetop Pyrus out there. There's 5'9" Brims out there. There is other sets out there that's California based. So those bloods I would definitely implore to come out here and, you know, tap in with the other bloods or Pyrus or whoever y'all with, to where y'all can come over here and just see the land. And once again, don't come with the expectation to think that everybody's going to be forthcoming.
Welcome arms and all that.
Yeah.
You might have to run a fade. Who knows?
I was just about to say the same thing. Don't be surprised if you got to sit there and you got to run a fade with somebody. Because once again, if you sit there and somebody say some slick shit out your mouth, same thing with the Soulja Boy situation. It's always going to be somebody that's going to try you. You see what I'm saying? Your situation, how you make your move after that is going to represent your whole thing. Niggas will respect you more for catching that fade, and you'll be welcome more because they remember you. Oh shit, that's the Memphis niggas that came out here and caught the fade with such and such.
Yeah, he got down.
Correct. You can use that. You see what I'm saying? Oh shit, this nigga came out here, he caught the fade. You see what I'm saying? You know, niggas will respect that more. Correct. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to give niggas too much, but I'm gonna be honest. That's the best way for you to be an out-of-town gang member and you're in the original place to get your respect. Catch a fade. Catch a fade. So all you gotta do is catch a fade. I'm not even telling you gotta guarantee even win the fight. Catch a fade. That's a fact. Catch a fade, man. You see what I'm saying? So you catch a fade, you gonna be wanted, man. That's it, man. So listen.
Don't go looking for it though. You know
don't go looking for it. Correct. And one thing, don't just listen, man. You niggas don't just get out the plane, go get a rental car, and just try to drive to wherever you think the turf is at, just jump out your car and start taking pictures and going live, and y'all niggas gonna get shot. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling y'all, don't do that, because if you do that, that's gonna get y'all hurt. I'm telling you, listen, even if you jump out the car, you see people, you know that's your part of the woods, you know that's your peoples, you jump out the car, go up to them humbly. Listen, I'm such and such such. I'm a little such, you know, I'm a blood from such and such, you know, this the motherland. I just needed to tap in with the right people because I want to come check in. You know, I'm out here, yada, yada. You got to be on some shit like that. But if you just pop up phone and all that shit, like, yo, I'm here. I'm at the turf on some Soulja Boy kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, my nigga, I'm telling you, you gonna get hurt, my nigga. You better pop out on that humble shit. You see what I'm saying?
Put your arm around the wrong nigga, he could get off of me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, don't be going over there. Don't go over there on no crazy shit. Don't go over there on no bitch shit at the same time. But once again, if it gets down to it, a nigga, you just catch a fade. Just catch a fade. They don't know you. They're not gonna shoot you. They're not gonna just shoot you. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you one of theirs, because you could be a notable just from another state. So they're not gonna shoot you, but catch a fade, man. Catch a fade, man. Yo, Zay Fortnite God, whoever blood check in, we don't do chat bang in the head. So what we do is whoever's in the corner, you can check in with them real quick to see if they in the corner banging right now. But we don't do chat bang in the head. That's why you the only one putting that shit in right now. Come in my chat changing C's for X's and shit like you bugging. Only nigga put the small C in here, pause, is my nigga Austin, Texas. That's the only nigga get away with putting a small C in here. You know what I'm saying? Texas, that's a fact. And Austin, Texas, the only blood nigga coming here putting a small C in here. That's it.
He don't hold back on his opinions. I tell you that, but
word up. You know how that go. But JT-Mo, I definitely appreciate your opinion on this. You see that? I didn't even put you in the corner. I let you still got your tap on and all that. But I'm gonna be honest, 64 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. But before we go, because we got to go, I got the family on their way here. I'm already pushing the time right now. You know I had to sneak in some time for I had to get a little bit of YouTube time in, man. You know. But other than that, Far Rock, you want to let the people know where they can find you at in these streets?
Infamous Owen on Instagram. That's infamous_Owen. And you can find me at, well, I'm gonna just say Instagram. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to put my Facebook out there, but infamous Owen _Owen. You know
that's a fact, man. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really put my Facebook out there no more neither. There's a lot of weirdo shit been going on YouTube, man. A lot of weirdo shit, man. That's it. Melly Mel, can let the people know one time, son.
Y'all can find me on YouTube at Melly Mel, all caps, 2 L's, all facts. Follow me on YouTube. Please get my likes up and get my subscribers up. Go subscribe.
Facts.
That's a fact, man. And yeah, man, listen. This is your boy Harlem Smiley. I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from a Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz put it in check. I'm up next, man. And you've been tuned in to the one, the only Dirt Gang TV. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. And make sure y'all share this if y'all could, man. Other than that, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Stats 280. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my guy Ambition right there, man. It's Ambition. Make sure you add the H in there too. So go subscribe to DJ Ghost if y'all not subscribed yet. Go subscribe to Kev Mac videos, man. Make sure y'all staying tuned over there. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Go shop at M14.com for your latest apparel. But when you go over there and shop at M14, which is going across the bottom right now, man, use that promo code DIRT and you get 30% off your next purchase, man. So you know you got a little savings to put some in there for yourself. But other than that, y'all know how that go. Y'all stay tuned. Oh yeah, go subscribe to Fawn's Poe. I can't leave my guy out, man. That's a fact, man. He gonna be making some next boondock shit for y'all next time, man. I'm telling you, y'all gonna see that. He don't know it yet, but yeah. He get nice at the little cartoons. You see what I'm saying? So other than that, salute to Melly Mel, salute to Far Rock 22, salute to all the Wrench Gang members in the chat. Y'all know how that go, man. 2 thumbs to the sky, keep them high. Salute to my guy, man. Salute. Yeah, make sure y'all go subscribe to Brianna Simone Pettyville. Salute to the whole Pettyville. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Other than that, always follow the originators. Never these YouTube imitators, because that's all people doing is jocking our styles in these streets. Pause. They're trying to take our way, but they can't do it like us, man. I be feel like this song, man. Bet you can't do it like me. What? Bet you can't do it like me. Dumbass niggas, man. See what I'm saying? But we going. Listen, listen. When I come back, y'all know I'm gonna address some of the shit that been going on YouTube. Y'all know for a fact I'm gonna address some of the shit that's going on YouTube. But other than that, I got family members out here from New York, travel blog coming. Yeah. We gonna be in Vegas with it. I might give y'all some little LA tactics in a couple of days. But other than that, yeah, man, y'all just make sure y'all stay in tune with the low. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Melly Mel channel. Use listen, even if y'all got y'all backup pages, y'all go subscribe to Melly Mel with y'all backup pages too. Not the fake troll accounts, but the backup pages, man. See what I'm saying? Other than that, you know how I go, man. We out of here. Go.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Peace, Melly.
Later, y'all.
All right, y'all.